team player. He's in it for himself a little bit more so than others.
Well, true or not, talkSPORT's Stuart Pearce says that's the perception of Bellingham. His former coach at Birmingham City, Pep Clotet, told us there's no problem with Jude's attitude.
He's always been very professional. He's always been very, very serious about his job, about his teammates, about his team, about the badge.
England's final warm-up against Costa Rica is live on talkSPORT from 9pm. Getting ahead of myself. Marcus Rashford is set for an Old Trafford return this summer. Barcelona appear to be unwilling to pay the £26 million fee for his permanent signature after his loan. Meanwhile, Yves Bissouma is set to leave Tottenham, and Newcastle have confirmed their first signing of the summer. French goalkeeper Ewan Jouen has joined from Reims. And Harry Brook's overtaken Joe Root at the top of the ICC Test batting rankings. But will Brook captain England at the Oval next week? We're told Ben Stokes could retire after his post-curfew altercation in a nightclub. Cricket writer Cameron Ponsonby says that's not something he's on board with.
Do we really want to lose, arguably England's greatest ever cricketer over not being in bed by 11:59 and being out another couple of hours later? It just seems an extraordinary situation to be in.
More at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A 30-year-old Sudanese man has been charged with attempted murder after a knife attack in Belfast. Meanwhile, extra police from around the UK are being sent to the city following violent protests over the attack. Sinead has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. You can't trust the weather right now, but you can always trust Pirelli tyres. In stock now at your local centre. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Blustery showers for many today in the north and east, most at risk of thunder and hail. A few sunny spells coming later on.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Because this summer, you and a mate could be jetting off to watch England versus Panama in New Jersey live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with Adidas, including tickets, flights, accommodation and more.
Go to talksport.com/win to enter now. And
good afternoon, you're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. The Tony Yeboah volley for the Hawksbee and Jacobs generation, live from LA and London. Charlie, what's coming up between now and 4?
Live from LA and London. Hi, Max. Nice to see you out there, stateside, in the United States of A.
Hot diggity dang.
Wowee. It's the World Cup, but we'll start with Ben Stokes' future with Harmy, then Alex James from Blur. He gets up when he likes, I've heard. Except on Thursdays, I don't know what it is. From Blur, he's on to talk football, songs and pies. My 3 favourite things.
Oh, they, yeah. It took me a while to get your part, like, what an album that was, by the way. We'll talk the grim side of the World Cup with the journalist and author Joey Durso. Comedian Dan Tiernan is in, and there's a World Cup of beer to discuss.
Yeah, very good. I like peach lager at the moment. The head of sport at Times is in.
It's never getting out of the group. Never getting out of the group.
Shiban is at the Scotland training camp. Phil Kitchmalides will do some Real Madrid, and we pilot a brand new quiz, which a lot of people will be thrilled to hear about. And it's called, What About All This Weather We're Having?
What about all this weather we're having?
What about all this weather
Good
we're
afternoon,
having?
everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sean.
Good afternoon, Max. And good afternoon, Derek in Goole.
Hello, Derek.
Who's got in early on the texts. But at least he throws us both under the
This is true. This is the first text that came into the show. It was after Majestic and Pardew announced that it was us on after them.
Yeah.
And Derek in Goole writes, "Oh, great." Now, that could go either way, but
not normally. If I know the text board, not normally.
Oh, great. Now for the, do excuse the language, crappiest show on talkSPORT with the 2 most unfunny hosts. And then he says, Goa, a toothache, painful 3 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you, Derek. So
I've met
this
Derek.
show is for
I've
you,
met Derek,
Derek.
actually. I met Derek in Goole.
Yeah, did you?
Seems like a very nice guy when you meet him.
Right.
Terrible breath.
Oh, really?
Yeah, terrible breath.
Absolutely. Halitosis,
Really
Derek.
needs to,
Is that what he's
really
called?
needs to get that sorted out. Get your breath
Derek,
sorted
sort
out,
out.
Derek. And then you might enjoy
just a bit
the
of
show.
mouthwash. Just a bit of mouthwash.
As we always say,
brush
not
your teeth.
everything's for everyone. Looking for, hey, I tell you what I'm not looking forward to, Max, and I've seen
What's
it
that?
today, is have you seen Newcastle United's new shirt?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Let me
it's
have a look.
terrible.
What's wrong with it?
How do you mess up black and white stripes? How do you mess that up? That is
Have they done kind of
absolute
have they done
tapping.
like?
It's like a barcode.
Have they done like They've done barcodes.
It looks like a
Do you know
barcode.
what? Cambridge had a barcodey. People will remember the Beaumont stainless steel sponsor shirt of, I'm going to say late 90s, early 2000s. And I quite liked it. So, not everything is for everyone, Charlie.
Exactly. All I was thinking was
by that motto.
Ross Barcode. That's all I could think of then. I was doing barcode footballers in my head.
Barcode footballers?
all I've
Bradley
got.
Barcoda. I mean,
there
there
we
you
are.
go.
So there's two. I don't know if there's any more after that.
Yeah, Daisy in Somerset says, it's all right, guys. Not everyone gets high art.
Yeah,
Thank
high
you,
art, exactly,
Daisy. That's what we're
what it is,
delivering.
that's what
I'm in
it
a
is.
cinema room in Los Angeles, in our apartment. I'm rooming with Barry Glendenning because we're
That's
doing
nice,
daily
yeah,
podcasts for The Guardian. And it does look like, if you're watching on the YouTube,
It looks like a green screen. It looks like
Well,
a
it looks
green
a bit
screen
like-
of a cinema room, which I know it's not.
No,
You are actually in a cinema room.
I'm in a cinema room. It's not very well air conditioned, so I might get as the show progresses, I might get hot. The toilet is quite far away.
Oh, that's
so
exciting.
that is
Yeah.
that's a bit of a risk, but quite exciting. And
Maybe get one of those big cinema cups.
And I have booked it, but it's possible. It's 5 a.m. in LA now. But it's possible about 7 a.m. Someone wants to come in and watch, Shawshank Redemption. And if they do, what do we do?
You've just got to let it happen.
Just let it happen. They can
In
sit
the
next to me
in the
and watch
background.
that.
If Derek
Get
from
busy
Gould,
living.
wants to come in and watch,
Yeah.
I don't know, Goodfellas at 7
Yeah, he
o'clock
can
in the
do it.
morning, and you're in there.
So there's a seat.
It's
for
a
you,
perfect storm of pure hell for Derek.
Now I
Scan
because the toilet's
Collymore.
quite-
Thank you very much for barcode footballers. Very nice.
Oh yeah, really. That's excellent, isn't it? Well, you got Scan Collymore, Scan Bowles, of
Yeah,
course,
exactly,
Stan
yeah.
Mortensen, all of them. Now, I once did you'll remember this, Charlie, everyone will. I once did a radio show with Jason Donovan on BBC London.
Oh, did you?
And as we went into the 8 o'clock news, he said, I'm just going to the toilet. And he was in there for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Went for the lot.
Why not?
But that was
Why
his time.
not?
When you got to go, you got to go.
I had to do a whole report about level crossings in Southwark all by myself.
Yeah.
But, that's
Dan says, when's Andy Jacobs back? Andy's back tomorrow. This is a good point, actually. Andy's back
Is it a good
tomorrow. The Hawksby and Jacobs World Cup show starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they are on 10 till 1 for the whole of the World Cup. It's a huge
And
change
what's exciting
for
is-
Hawksby and
and what's
Jacobs.
exciting
10
is-
till 1 for Hawksby and Jacobs.
They have to channel their inner Jim and Simon. So Paul will be playing Jim.
Oh, right, okay.
And Andy will be playing Simon.
I think Andy will enjoy
And-
it. I think he'll enjoy it. I think he'll enjoy that role. He'll enjoy being
Think
able to
he'll
do
lean in?
lightweight 80s swearing. That's absolute,
He'll lean into that.
poppycock.
Yeah, so did we have
Martin
anything for listeners to do today?
Barcodegaard. Don't mind it. Don't mind it.
No, Barcody Gakpo, really good.
Barcody Gakpo. That is good. Well
Dimitri Payet. Yeah, I think it probably works, doesn't it?
done. There we are.
Okay, well, we've got something
Denver
for them to do.
Barcode. Very good.
Oh, yeah,
Very good.
Denver Barcode and Ibrahim
Put your names
Barcode
on them.
there,
If you don't
just-
put your name on them, you're just a number. There we are.
That's okay. If you want to stay anonymous with your puns, we'll absolutely take it. And we're piloting a new quiz.
Yeah, very happy about it. Very
because
happy
you're
about
doing the Sunday warm up.
I am,
Because
yeah, looking forward to
that is for the next 4 weeks, LA time, 2 till 5 in the morning. I've managed to move to a country to make my hours even worse than they
Absolutely
normally
worse,
are.
yeah, worse.
But we're going to pilot. You're doing Saturdays and Sundays because Barry does not want to get out of bed at 2 in the morning.
No, I don't blame him.
And X-ray Houghton. That's good. I mean, X-rays and barcodes
X-rays
are slightly different.
Different thing, isn't it? Different technology.
They are slightly different.
But if you want to send
we're
X-ray
using-
footballers as well, that's absolutely fine.
if you,
Jap scan.
we're going to pilot a brand new quiz called "What's All This Weather We're Having?" Because no one's
Yes.
mentioned this, Charlie.
What about
No one's mentioned
what about
yet.
this weather we're having? What about this weather we're having, or what's all this
What
weather
about all
we're
this?
having?
What's all this weather we're having? Yeah, it's what's all this weather we're
Oh,
having.
okay, right. Sure.
But we do sometimes struggle with the name of the quiz.
Yeah.
Mid-quiz.
It'll
But
settle.
now-
It'll settle. 2 years in, it'll settle.
what we know is that this show, Hawksby and Jacobs, is generally just a pilot. What we do is we try things out for the weekend because the weekend shows are the important shows. aren't
Yeah,
they?
sure.
This is just we're just trying stuff.
Absolutely love that.
We're just trying stuff. This is like work in progress shows. That's what we're doing. So we've got a brand new quiz. But there's no listeners needed today, but
Not
there may
today,
be at
yeah.
the weekends. Maybe. If it takes off.
Well, if it's any good, we normally get celebs to play it. That's normally how it works.
Rich says, and apologies for dragging
This is a very good joke, Rich, and I'm proud of you. I wish I'd said it.
Did Jason Donovan go to the toilet especially for poo?
Very
and that's not
nice.
gonna. Derek and Gould won't like it, but it was clever, and you thought of it. Nigel Q-Archie, there you go. That's really good.
Can we give a big
well
happy
done.
birthday to Brian Lee from the Legions of the Allegiance? I don't know what that is. If that's something that is politically difficult, I can only apologise. But look,
We wish
take all
everyone a happy
comments.
birthday,
Not
whatever
everyone.
your-
Not everyone has to like everything. Love the show. What about this weather? He says that's what he's calling it. So look, we'll find out what it's called.
What about this weather, eh? Because no one's mentioned that it's hot in the States.
No, exactly. It's a
very hot in
weather-based
the
quiz.
cinema room.
We asked John Ketley, not available. We asked Carol Kirkwood, no reply. And so it is, of course, next in line. How tall are they? World champion Nigel Adley. Love to Nigel. To host.
So that's really good, isn't it? Igor Biscan, really good.
Very good. Scandi Jacobs. There we are.
Okay.
Rude
That is
Scan
it. What
Nistelrooy.
Scandi Jacobs is Scandi Jacobs is a kind of, it's like it's just a slightly more
Swedish
hipster
Andy Jacobs.
It's
Swedish
a hipster Swedish Andy Jacobs.
It's Andy Jacobs doing the show in the nude.
It's in a sauna.
In a
It's
sauna, yeah.
Sauna. That's
What's
what
the
they're doing
point?
from
What's the point in the water? On the
tomorrow
cold.
from 10. Tomorrow from 10, Paul and Andy will be in a sauna for 3 hours trying to do an impression of Jim White and Simon Jordan.
Wow. Derek from Gaul is hating this.
Oh, it's absolutely awful. But, the rest of us, we're having a good
Having a
time.
nice time.
Edwin
That's all we try and
Scander
do.
Bar.
Ooh, very
says
good.
Ash.
That's excellent. Edwin Scander
Unexpected
Bar.
item in the bagging areola. Does that work? Yeah, I suppose
Do
it
not
kinda
Google
does.
bagging areola. Do not Google that. You'll be in all sorts of trouble. Not at work, anyway.
Robin
What you do in your own
Scamperson.
time's up to you. But get a VPN.
Says Liam. Grant says Jimmy Floyd, Scania Bank.
Yeah. So it's a lot more popular than I expected.
Yeah, so did I. Scanley Bowles, of course. Connor Barcody. Derek and Gould says that if you can't beat them, join them. There you go. See, the thing is, Derek, we get you all in the end. We erode everyone down in the end, Derek. And now you're hooked. And now you're smiling and you hate yourself. You're smiling and having a good time. And you're
In
like,
trouble.
why can't I just listen? I want to listen to people being angry about football.
Who is
I can't
best?
bear that I'm
Who
enjoying
is
this.
the best at football? Tell me.
Joe, we could do.
I want a definitive answer. Who is the best?
Who's the bigger club? Stevenage or Nuneaton
Good
Borough?
shout. No,
it's a great
Stevenage
vote.
or Stevenage. Who's on a par with Crawley?
Who's on a par with
Crawley
Stevenage?
Town? Crawley Town?
Who's the bigger club, Stevenage or Crawley? Cancel all the guests. 03717
We're taking calls on that and that only.
And we're here for 3 hours, and if no one calls, we're going to sit in silence, and that's all you deserve, Derek. You're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Join the Toolstation Trade Club, and get 10% off all electrical and lighting products when you buy cable and Flex's first stop. Toolstation. Steve Harmison joins us in just a second. We'll talk about the future of Ben Stokes.
Ozzy, you're a lot older than me, so you would have seen more England goalkeepers. But does Pickford? For me, he does. Does Pickford rank as your best ever England goalkeeper?
Yeah, he does, without doubt. I still just think he's got so many more years left in the tank in him as well. He's found a level now, especially over the last, I'd probably say 4 or 5 years, even in the Premier League, where he just knows what he's doing and he's in full control of everything he's doing, apart from his emotions, because he still goes absolutely crazy on the pitch and watching, running around. But I know what I'm going to get from him. I'm going to get a 7.5 out of 10 every single England performance. Yes. And to have that from a goalkeeper is, honestly, it's worth its weight in gold.
What do you think about the squad of players that the manager's picked? I thought Harry Maguire should have been picked. I thought Lewis Hall at left back should have been picked. What was your thoughts on the squad, mate?
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand a few here or there, but I think Harry Maguire was my big surprise. I went to the Japan game at Wembley a couple of months ago, and it was awful. Honestly, it was a brutal game. And our best chance of scoring came in the last sort of 15 minutes when Harry Maguire came on. I think he had 2 chances from corners. Yes. And that's what it brings you. If you're an opposition team and you see big slabhead coming on, honestly, mate, it strikes fear in you. As a goalkeeper, I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. This is carnage. This is. So not only for the season that he's had defensively for Manchester United, but for what he offers in the box as well. I would have thought it would have just been a no-brainer.
We got just over a week to England's first game. What's that weight like as a player, Ben?
I don't think they'll be thinking about it yet, to be honest. I think they've still got another 1 or 2 friendlies as one more, yeah. Between that. They'll be just focusing in on getting through that game. You see, there's been so many teams who have had star players get injured in these little friendlies that you can't really read anything into them. You really can't. You're not going to get sort of everything out of them players in them games because they're really thinking, just don't get injured, just don't get injured. And then I think with a few days to go, that's when it will really start to hit home and everybody will really start to lock in again.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Because this summer, you and a mate could be jetting off to watch England versus Panama in New Jersey live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with Adidas, including tickets, flights, accommodation and more.
Go to talksport.com/win to enter now, and you could be soaking up the incredible atmosphere at the FIFA World Cup 2026. For the chance to win every football fan's trip of a lifetime, enter now at talksport.com/win.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rush and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. Johnny says, Yusuf, Chippo and Pin.
Very
Glyn,
good.
Self, check out TOT. And Stacky the Blue Nose, Donny van der Beep.
Oh, that's nice.
These are good, aren't they?
Very good.
Stephen says, Casemiro. Saxon says, Vito Minone just signed for Crawley as a player coach, automatically makes them bigger than Stevenage. Let's keep that one going. Okay. Calls only, 03717. We don't really want those. Right, let's talk about Ben Stokes. Senior cricket writer at The Cricketer, George Dobell, joined Paul and Andy yesterday on this show, revealed what he'd heard about Ben Stokes' situation after his nightclub bust-up on Monday morning.
I fear, from everything I hear, that Stokes is going to act first. And regretfully, I hear that he is going to step down and possibly even retire. I think that would be hugely regrettable, and I hope he doesn't. I hope he stands and fights his ground with, which is the Ben Stokes we know. I hope he brings this back from the brink like he has done so many games. But everything I hear is that he may well have been given some sort of ultimatum, but I fear that probably within the day will have heard that he stood down. And I think that's a damn shame. And I don't think it's necessary.
Let's talk to Double Ashes winner, our mate Steve Harmison. Hey, Harmy, okay?
Good afternoon, gents. How are we doing?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, really good. Nice to chat. Look, it's really interesting what George said yesterday, and these things can change and move around, and nothing happened yesterday. What do you know?
I don't know a great deal. All I do know is that, from Ben Stokes, I know that he's somebody who loves playing for England, who loves being England captain. He's given up a hell of a lot, as in the IPL, the white ball England cricket team, franchise cricket, to be the England captain. I'd be amazed if he gives it up. And let's be fair, right? All we know at this moment in time, I said on breakfast yesterday morning, like, there's a lot of hearsay, there's a lot of to and fro and what happened, what didn't happen. We wait until the final, report or whatever this ECB disciplinary team looks at. But all we know is that he stayed out after 12 o'clock. He's broke their own curfew. And I mean, come on, boys. I mean, you've just won the first Test match of this summer after being pelted for the last 5 months. He's a 35-year-old man with 2 kids. And we're having a go at him because he stayed out after 12 o'clock. Now, if he's been throwing haymakers and if he has been caught up in a fight, that's a different story again. But for me at this moment in time, I'm looking at somebody who I think there's a lot of overreaction to what's been happening, because I think there's a lot of people want to have a go at this England cricket team because of what happened, their poor performance, their arrogance at times, and the way they've gone about, especially the early part of this, the media cycle before the first Test match when they were very, very spiky. I think a lot of people need to take a breath now. I think they need to get closer together. And unfortunately, I do not want to see somebody I've known for a hell of a long time walk away from the game because he's largely broken a curfew, which is staying out after 12 o'clock. Yes, he's been drinking all day, but there's 10, 11 days between the next Test match. I mean, come on, as I've been hearing, football, what if he was a footballer? What if it was Harry Kane? He's not. Let's be fair, he's not. Football's got a different culture type to rugby, to cricket, to everything. Treat them individually. And for me, I think there's a lot of people jumping on a bandwagon to have a go at Ben Stokes. And I don't think it's fair. I really don't think it's fair. And for me to lose the England captain, the best we've ever had, Strauss, Brearley, Vaughan, Ben Stokes is one of the best we've ever had. And to lose him because he stayed out after 12 o'clock, I'm sorry, the world's gone mad.
Listen, sorry, Charlie, I don't think I'm jumping on a bandwagon, Harmy, and I absolutely don't want Ben Stokes to retire or be kicked out. I absolutely don't. But I think you can say, after what happened in the Ashes and players being out and getting wasted, nights before game, that night before a game in New Zealand, etc., just don't be in a nightclub. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, nightclubs are terrible play. They're just loud and annoying. But like, just don't put yourself in that. He might, we don't know the full story. He's a pretty moral, upstanding guy. And, if he was defending someone, blah, blah, that is not a bad thing. But don't be in the position to be there. I don't think I'm jumping on a bandwagon. I'm like, I love you, Ben Stokes. I'm just like, oh, mate, what are you doing? Like, don't go there. That feels like a...
Max, I'm not saying he's not made a mistake. I'm not saying he's not made a mistake. What I'm trying to say is the England captain having to resign or retire over being out after 12 o'clock in a nightclub after you've won 11 days between the next Test match. I think that's why I rate that.
Sure.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he shouldn't be disciplined. He should be disciplined, and he'll know himself. Ben Stokes will know when he woke up yesterday morning, when he wakes up this morning, when he wakes up tomorrow morning, that there's a line in a team environment you don't cross. And obviously, the curfew was there, which, whether you like it or not, I mean, come on, team curfews, they're grown blokes, really? But at the end of the day, he's crossed the line. He needs to be punished. But we're talking about ending somebody's career. I'm sorry, that doesn't sit very well with me.
Yeah, Harmy, I mean, I feel like his attitude and the vibe of the Ben Stokes has changed since he didn't have an accident, did he? I think he was hit by a ball and he had some injury there and he's had to work that out. Do you think he still wants to be? I'm sure he still wants to play cricket for England. Do you think he still wants to be captain? Do you think he still wants that responsibility?
Charlie, I've never known an individual want something more than what Ben Stokes wants to be England captain. I think the obsession about being England captain, I think sometimes has gone a bit too far for him when it comes to the emotion he shows, the way he conducts himself sometimes in the media, the umbrage he takes to some of the criticism that he thinks that potentially has gone too far. All this stuff, I think he could possibly be better at from an emotion point of view. But I think that just shows how much it means to him to be England captain. Like I said before, Ben Stokes could be what he wants in the world of cricket. He could play a franchise cricket. He could stay at the IPL like Jofra Archer right to the last minute. But he is desperate for England. And what will hurt more than anything else was he will know deep down when the lights are off and he's lying in bed and there's nobody there apart from his wife. It is all he had a chance to be one of the England captains to win in Australia, and I think that will hurt him. And I think he'd be desperate for it to happen again in the next summer, as England captain to win the Ashes. And I think this last 5 months, there's been a lot of pepped up frustration because they haven't had a chance to fire back, and they've won a Test match. Well, 50 for 5, they won a Test match. And unfortunately, it gets overshadowed for winning the first Test match of the summer because of a silly mistake. Does that warrant losing your job? I'm sorry, no, not for me.
I don't think it does. And I think most right-thinking cricket fans don't think it does, right? You don't, I don't think Charlie does. We heard George Dobell saying it would be a great shame, Cameron Ponsonby saying no. So what should the sanction be? Because there's a tricky balance, right? Because you don't want to punish, you don't want to punish him to a level where he goes, oh, I don't want to be captain anymore. But you can't really take that into account when you say, listen, we've got a curfew. It's for everyone. If you're the captain and you break it, what message does that send to the rest of the squad? We've just had Ashes where people were drunk and we didn't prepare well enough and we didn't play well. Mm-hmm. So what would you say? What is the right thing to say to Ben Stokes? You don't play the next game or are suspended? I don't know what it is. I don't know what you think, Harmy.
Personally, I'd take him, if I was in charge, I'd take him out of the firing line for possibly the next game, the next 2 games, which means he does not play cricket because he's not involved in white ball cricket. And throughout July and August, come back end of August, there's a lot of time. And then you work with him, right? This has gone on for far too long. From the minute we got off the plane in New Zealand, we've been classed as a drinking culture. We need to change. We need to change the narrative of what this England cricket team looks like. And you sanction him by you take the captaincy away from him for 2 games. You don't take it away from him for the rest of his days. And you work with you sit him down and be forceful. I'm not saying I would be sitting down and I'm defending Ben Stokes here, but behind closed doors I'd be going through him and saying, right, this culture, this team needs to change. This culture needs to change. We've got to stop getting off the front page of the newspapers and get back on the back page of the newspapers. Let's draw a line in the sand and make sure that when we come back together again and you wear the blazer, you toss the coin, that there's a different mentality and a different culture within this group. Because at the minute, it's not very good. But like I said before, the alternative for him, and I'm not giving him leeway to say Ben Stokes should be captain of England, because let's be fair, lads, you try and think of the alternative, and that is even worse. I'm sorry, I'm nothing against Harry Brook. I don't think he's ready to be England's full captain. Joe Root, I think, will say no, and if I was Joe Root, I would say no. And then, I mean, the rest, I'm sorry, was nobody anywhere near ready to do it. But that's not the reason why he should stay. But I think they need to buy themselves some time. They need to work out a culture that needs to change, and the narrative that this England cricket team has got to go. And that, for me, would buy themselves some time in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, before they come back again, when the Test match squad comes back again in Pakistan. And that, for me, would be what I would do with Ben. He misses 2 games, he comes back as captain of Pakistan, but Ben, this has to change, and you have to lead it. Because at the minute, it's got to stop.
Hamid, just before you go, some sad news about Warwickshire, former Warwickshire wicketkeeper Keith Piper, who's died at the age of just 56. You knew him well, didn't you?
I played against Pipes a few times. What a great man. I mean, he was annoying behind the stumps, like all wicketkeepers are. He was a brilliant character. Brilliant in the dressing room, off the field. He was at the other end when Lara got 501, I think, against Durham. He was I think he was the glue that held all them together in that great Warwickshire side, which was led by Dermot Reeve, which won countless amount of one-day trophies. He was a good man, Pipes, liked to smoke, and enjoyed himself. And what was he, 50, 52, 53? It's such a sad time that somebody, again, from the cricket world's gone too early. But what a man. And I feel for all the Warwickshire fans and all the cricket fans because, we've lost the character.
Thanks, Army. Thanks for your words on Keith. Thanks for your time, pal.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, and our love to his friends and family. Of course, it's Max Rushden, Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT.
I love Ted Lasso.
You like it?
Yeah, it's funny, man. I watched it and it took me a while to get into it, but it is hilarious, right?
Yeah, I get that with shows like Sopranos.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing Ted Lasso to Sopranos, but it's like I've watched it like 3 or 4 times and I've always stuck at like episode 3, but then when you get past all of that, you get right into it, the characters and all that, and then Bob's your uncle.
How did you get in? How did you get that role? Because you're in Top Boy, right?
Oh yeah, I was in Top. Bit different, isn't it?
Top Boy's good as well.
Basically, one of my best mates is a fantastic actor. His name's Will Poulter, and he's also an Arsenal fan. So big up, Wills. But he did Where the Millers with Jason.
Okay, yeah.
The one where they tried to smuggle across the border.
Yeah. It's a great film.
Great film, isn't it?
Yeah.
He did the TLC bit. It's great. Basically, Jason asked him, "Do you know any actors that can do comedy, and can actually play football?" And he was like, "Yeah."
He said no.
He didn't ask you. He phoned his mate.
Conan, do you know anyone?
I walked into that one. All right. Where was I? So then
you're good at football. I mean, like, I know the Ted Lasso stuff. Obviously, you can play, but you can obviously play, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, we did the whole thing where when you're younger, like you try to make it.
Yeah. How close did you get?
You realise you think you're good.
Thomas Tuchel has revealed Bukayo Saka is not fully fit as he's struggling with an Achilles problem. And Gabby Agbonlahor reckons the German should make a last-minute squad change.
The players we're leaving back at home, Foden, Bowen, Palmer, we've got too much talent on the wings to have a player who can't train every day, can't really get through 90 minutes.
But England coach at Euro 2024, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, would keep Saka in the squad.
He always turns up in big matches. He takes responsibility. He has got the experience now. He's a penalty taker.
Elsewhere, Man United have confirmed Casemiro, Jadon Sancho and Tyrell Malacia have all left the club. Meanwhile, we understand Barca will not pay the £26 million required to sign Marcus Rashford. That clause expires on Monday. Now, how's Pep Guardiola enjoying his first break in 14 years?
He sounds 5 years younger already. He's got his suntan back, so he's living the dream. He was at a big festival in Barcelona over the weekend. He's trying to get me to come play it next year.
Oasis legend Noel Gallagher there. And Harry Brook has overtaken Joe Root at the top of the ICC Test batting rankings, but will Brook captain England at the Oval next week? We're told Ben Stokes could retire following that post-curfew altercation in a nightclub.
You ever had a Vindaloo, Max?
Do you know what? It's a bit too much for me.
Too hot for
it
me.
won't surprise anyone. I'm too woke for a win.
Too much. It's too much for me.
It's like the older I get, just the spice just the next day.
Yeah, it's no good.
It's not great for
No
me.
good.
Anyway, let's talk to a man who co-wrote that song. I
Yes.
didn't know that. Maybe I should. Shame on me. Alex James from Blur.
Yes.
It's the hope is going to kill us.
Do you know what? Although I have thought when we've got to finals, Alex, I don't know how to. I don't know how I would. I'm meant to behave if England's men ever actually won anything. But I just don't know. I'm really good at this bit. I'm good at the hope.
There's no precedent, is there? There's no precedent.
Yeah. But what do we do? Listen, it'd be nice to worry about it. Look, now, you co-wrote Vindaloo. You're doing some stuff for Pucker Pies. I like these sort of segments of these shows, Alex. Tell us everything.
Who'd have thought that 30 years later the song would be a pie, combining two great staples of British food culture, singing silly songs and eating lots of pies. You know, the jobs are good and really.
What is the origin story of the song Vindaloo, Alex? Can you tell us it, or is it?
Well, Keith was like my mate, and he did that song with New Order for the World Cup 1990.
World in Motion,
and that was a pivotal point in football music. John Barnes's rap, that was cool because football records. That there was every time there was a football tournament or even an FA Cup final, there was an accompanying football record, but it was a sort of dreadful. It was the worst subgenre of music. I mean, some of them were sort of kind of quite good, but in a dreadful way. But everything changed with that record. But on the other, so you had this sort of horrible subgenre of football music. On the other hand, at football matches on terraces, you do have a situation that you don't get anywhere else ever. I can't think of one with big groups of people all singing together, and it's we've been part of it, and it's a kind of magical.
Well, it's there or church, isn't it? It's football or at church.
There's someone playing an organ in the church, and you're not allowed to swear. And you know who and nobody my age can recall the face of Teddy Sheringham when he went to Manchester United without kind of breaking into a smile. You know what I mean? And there's that great one about the guy who ate all the pies. And if I say, Cantona, what are you going to say? Exactly. You know, there's only one answer, isn't there? So these things kind of existed as possibly like the last vestiges of folk music, like people singing songs all together for joy. So, but I think Vindaloo was really kind of like the musical equivalent of a leftovers recipe. Like when you're cooking from leftovers, often you come up with the best stuff when you're cooking with leftovers. But we basically just took a bunch of it's a terrace drum beat, you know, that gadunk, gadunk, gadunk.
Yeah.
With a bunch of stuff that people used to sing on the terraces anyway, with just that one note chorus, we're going to score one more than you. I mean, I don't think you can ever shoot too low in pop music, you know.
Although me and me mum and me dad and me gran went off to Waterloo. Me and me mum and me dad and me gran and a bucket of Vindaloo. That's a great lyric.
Well, no, I mean, you've got to hand it to Keith, and he directed a great video as well. I mean, but who knew 30 years later we'd still be singing it? It's crazy, really. But You know, and it's funny. I've barely ever heard the record on the radio. It's a song that's completely grown through being sung at football matches on terraces. It's crazy. It's sort of if you know the same songs come round every Christmas, and there's a major football tournament every 2 years. So you know, and if England do well, everybody wants to sing football songs. So you know, I guess you know there's a handful that have become evergreens. You know, Three Lions is never going away. I'm afraid Vindaloo's here to stay as well. I'm sorry because it's quite.
Well, Doris Day's "Que Sera Sera" is still sung by people every single year when they go to Wembley. You know, so it's
and then Blue Moon. That was the first song. No, my dad taught me how to play that on the piano.
Oh wow,
that's an old.
Because you're so right about Vindaloo. Like it starts and you sort of don't want to be I sort of don't want to listen to it. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, oh, here we are. The football match has started. And when Three Lions starts, like the first chords of Three Lions, you're instantly, and you're taken back to, you know, and it's whenever you were between 10 and 20, right? That's when football, that's when life, music, football, life, culture, everything grabs you.
You know, the music, the food you eat until you're 10, and then the music you like from between 10 and 20, I don't think it never leaves you.
The thing is, Alex, you do both because you make cheese and you play the music I listen to between 10 and 20. You sort of wrote quite a lot of it.
I can't believe Vindaloo's got the like, can I introduce you please to a lump of cheddar cheese in it? I mean, and that was Keith's line. Yeah. You know, it's the high backing vocals, the descant parts on the choruses. It's Lily Allen.
Oh,
I think she was at junior school. She was bunking off school. She was at the studio. She's like, well, what are you doing? But we were like, well, you better try singing this. Oh, actually, she's quite good.
And how is the cheese? You came on Soccer AM during the glory years, Alex, and you said a line. You said, when the cheese comes out, everyone's happy. And we turned it into a T-shirt that did incredibly well. It's a great line. How is the cheese?
Well, it's, you know, I've diversified into making booze as well. Another one of my sort of favourite hobbies, drinking. I seem to have turned that into a job as well. You know, we've had the Great British Cheese Explosion. We're into the Champagne Supernova years now in British food and drink culture. You know, it's incredible what's happened with British, particularly English wine production over since Vindaloo was written. There was practically no English wine available commercially back then, and now we're making the finest sparkling wine in the world. So cheers to that. Cheers.
Very nice.
Good stuff. Cheers to you. Well, look, thanks for coming on, Alex.
Very much.
It's great to chat, great to get nostalgic. And, you did write some of the best songs, I think, for anyone of our
also,
era.
I will say, an insanely good bass player. I think underrated bass player. You try and play some of those bass parts as a rubbish bass player, and it is absolutely impossible. Absolutely brilliant musician.
Well, for what this is literally the only instrument on Vindaloo is a bass, and that Fat Les is actually a Les Paul bass that sounded really fat.
Right, okay, there we are. Brilliant. What a
Good
great
stuff.
What a great.
All right, thanks for coming on, Alex. Appreciate your time.
Great talking to you both. See you half time for a play. Cheers. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex James there.
Were we supposed to read anything about the Pucker Pies thing, Max?
I think something about
Pucker Pies celebrated
the
the launch of its hottest ever chicken Vindaloo pie.
Yeah,
which I'm pleased they've not done the thing when they bring one in and will you try the hot Vindaloo because it would be I wouldn't make the last hour, Max. Let's just say that.
No, fair. It was a bit like, I remember me and Ali McCoy had Ricky Tomlinson on, who was trying to, he was there to flog sort of planning your own funeral. And he just wouldn't talk about anything else. I was desperately trying to drag him towards death.
Royal
and he just wouldn't do it. It's one of the best interviews I've ever done. And not because of me, just because of those two. Anyway, we will talk to Joey D'Urso in just a second. Author, he's written a lot about football and politics, and we will talk about the grim side of what's happening. You know, you can enjoy the football, you can enjoy the music, but you can't ignore, the fact that a referee isn't allowed in and is interviewed for 11 hours, detained and further, and then sent back to his home country, amongst other things as well. And we'll do that with Joey in a second.
when you said there that you've got certain developing nations maybe that have to go for somebody else in the way that Uzbekistan have got Fabio Cannavaro.
Yes.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
This is why the Thomas Tuchel appointment for England just really doesn't chime with me, really doesn't sit comfortably, because we are supposed to be the inventors of the game, be the home of football. Football's coming home. We are supposed to be we were at the genesis of football. We are supposed to be one of the most richest footballing nations, rich in terms of culture, but also rich in terms of finances. How can we not pick from within?
Well, who would you have gone for if it weren't
personally?
Yeah,
I would have gone for anyone English.
Anyone?
Over
Oh
Thomas
yeah, because you said something. Honestly, I forgot about that ridiculous shout that you come with. Remember?
It wasn't ridiculous.
No, it wasn't. It was ridiculous. You said you'd rather. And listen, he's a friend of mine. You'd rather Liam Rossini than Thomas Tuchel as England manager.
Yes, in the way that I would. In the way that I would rather Adam Wharton playing central midfield rather than Rodri.
No, but okay, I can understand that. But who gives you the best chance of winning out of the two?
Yeah, but that's not really the question.
No, but that's the question I'm asking you.
But I appreciate, by the way, Thomas Tuchel is far better manager. I'm not even arguing that.
So who gives us the best chance of winning
Thomas Tuchel is a far better manager than Liam Rossini. Thomas Tuchel is a far better manager than Eddie Howe. But I believe Eddie Howe should be England manager.
Okay, but who gives you the best chance of winning? Is it about winning or is it about taking part?
But it's also about...
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Because this summer, you and a mate could be jetting off to watch England versus Panama in New Jersey live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with Adidas, including tickets, flights, accommodation and more.
Go to talksport.com/win to enter now, and you could be soaking up the incredible atmosphere at the FIFA World Cup 2026. For the chance to win every football fan's trip of a lifetime, enter now at talksport.com/win.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you on talkSPORT until 4. Scan, Collymore.
Very nice.
Peter Checkout. Ekatike items or less. Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank transfer. John Doshak. They're all from Chris Evans of... I don't have his postcode, Charlie. I don't have
Virgin Radio. Virgin Radio every single morning, and TFI Friday on Fridays, of course. It's on Channel 4.
I think he has a future as a broadcaster.
I think he's going to do well. He's got a few ideas, the kid.
I think he's going to do okay. Iron out the rough edges. I think he'll be fine. Let's talk about this referee then, Omar Artan. He got a hero's welcome back in Somalia. He was denied entry to the USA. We had former ref and broadcaster Christina Unkel on H&J yesterday, outraged by the decision not to allow him into the country.
It's embarrassing. There's no other words to say it, but it's just completely embarrassing. To be an official at the World Cup, this is not a 4-year endeavor. This is an 8-year, 10-year endeavor. You have so much personal sacrifice of your time, time with family. Usually you end up sacrificing your job to pursue something that's never, confirmed, right? You're only as good as your last game. And this is the 2025 CAF Referee of the Year, more than well-deserved. First Somali referee to take charge of a World Cup. And it's unfortunate, particularly for this building the game here in the United States, the chances of us hosting another World Cup after we've had this experience, we just see that opportunity go away.
All right, let's talk to the author and journalist Joey Durso. Hey, Joey.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on. Where is Infantino in all of this? I'm waiting. On his feed, he's hanging out with iShow Speed, the only person who he's let interview him, last however many years. This is on him, right? He should be there saying, "Let this person in."
Yeah, and he doesn't want to get involved. He's obviously mates with Trump. He's got an office in Trump Tower that the New York Times reported this week has been very empty for the last couple of years. So that's lots of money going to the Trump family from FIFA. And FIFA will say, you know, we don't do politics, we stay out of these things. But that's not always been the case. You know, Indonesia tried to ban an Israeli team from an under-20s tournament recently, and FIFA stepped in and said, you know, the tournaments can't take place under these conditions. So FIFA it does step in and can step in, but here with the US, because it's the most powerful country in the world, because Trump is the most powerful man in the world, it sort of doesn't really have that power in a way it has done in previous tournaments.
Do we know if Omar Artan had
Carry on,
any idea that this was likely to happen before he left for the tournament? Had he had any heads up at all? Do you know, Joe?
I don't think so. I've seen nothing to indicate that be the case. I mean, he was questioned for 11 hours in Florida, which is where the big referee base is. I don't think so. He's gone back. He's the African referee of the year last year. It's not just some random bloke. So it's it's not great.
Yeah. Do you think, I was thinking about this, you know, could the other officials get together and say, look, it's hard to strike. It's easy if you're not involved to strike. You know, some journalists have struggled to get in and I'm here. So I, you know, it would be hypocritical to say they should do it. But you wonder what the other officials think about this situation.
Yeah, but it's funny, referees, because they sort of by definition don't really have a public presence. They don't really have a voice. They don't pop up in the media until they've finished their career. I think for pretty obvious reasons, because there'd be massive pile-ons if they did. You know, they don't have Instagram pages where they can share things about this decision. So it's, well, I guess that makes them a kind of easy target, really.
Yeah, and I suppose what it also tells you is, you know, this is a high-profile person who has not been allowed in, who had the visa, and then even though he had the visa, he was detained for 11 hours, interviewed for 11 hours. Like, what do you find out between hours 9 and 11 that you haven't found out in those 9 hours? And also was detained further and then forcibly put on a plane back to Istanbul and then to Somalia. You know, what does that say about other Somalians who might have a visa to get into the US, or just other people from any country who have the right paperwork and then try to get in, that there will be no one on a radio station talking about them?
Well, exactly. We've seen even with Brits have been detained and all sorts of other things. I mean, I was in Senegal pretty recently, and fans there can't go to the World Cup, or certainly not easily. And lots of them went to Russia and went to Qatar. But this time it's really hard for them to.
I suppose what Trump and Trump supporters would say is that he is doing what he said he would do. I'm not saying I'm not at all saying it's the right thing.
I mean,
but he is doing what he said he would do. I think it's absolutely grim what he's doing and what he said he would do. But he is doing it. There's no surprise this is happening.
Sure, it's just I guess that is not very compatible with hosting the World Cup, which is all about welcoming people from all over the world. And mentioned Russia and Qatar, for their many, many sins, they did pretty, welcome the world, and it was easy for people to come along to. This is very different, and it's kind of the first time that's ever been the case.
Yeah, and so how do you see it playing out, Joey? It's so hard to know. You imagine, the football starts and everyone forgets about these things, and how important do you think it is that you do both? You enjoy the football, but you are aware of what is happening beyond it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a huge advocate for doing both. I think being someone who talks about the grubby side of football, it'd be very boring if I didn't actually like the game and love going to watch it. And I'm a normal fan who screams in the stands like everything else. And, maybe other people find that hypocritical or whatever else, but, I certainly do both. But yeah, I think it's just, keeping your eyes open. I think the South American question is very interesting in this. There'll be huge loads of Colombians and Mexican fans celebrating wins and whatever else in the United States. Are they going to get rounded up by ICE agents? I mean, JD Vance has kind of said a few things to that effect. I personally don't find that hypocritical. I think, it needs people who genuinely and sincerely love football to take a look at these things as well. So yeah, I'll certainly be doing both, and I'll be absolutely loving the football as I did in Qatar, as I did in Russia.
What can fans who are not fans of Infantino, these things should be embarrassing for him, right? Giving a peace prize to somebody who then launches attacks on Iran, repeatedly saying, everyone is welcome, everyone will be welcome, all fans can come, all players can come, and then, certain members of staff of certain teams aren't allowed in. Obviously, Iran can't stay in the United States. But it feels like he is so powerful, Infantino, and he has such a cabal of supporters around the world that he is untouchable, right? There's no one that can try. There's no guy that can, or woman who can come and say, "I will run football for fans in a good way."
No, I mean, short of the law, which was the raids in Switzerland in 2015 when FIFA was accused of breaking the law in the US and elsewhere, that's not what's happening here. But, the way FIFA works, it's a big democracy. There's 200 countries. They get one vote each. And if you funnel loads of money to the smaller countries through charging loads of money for tickets, through expensive broadcast deals, then they'll probably vote for you. And a tiny little island in the Caribbean is just as powerful as England or Brazil. And, Infantino's worked that out. And no, there isn't really anyone who can topple him.
And what was that? And the story you mentioned at the top about having an office at Trump Tower, but it being largely idle. Why is that significant? Why is that significant?
Well, I suppose it's just directly money going from FIFA to the Trump family in renting an office, isn't it? Which probably isn't a great look. And Trump's been, Infantino makes the argument it's good to be not close to the president, but it's good to be, in with the organising country, and you need to work together and you need to talk about things. But it's certainly a relationship that goes far, far closer than any previous tournament. Sort of goofing around in the Oval Office with that gaudy trophy. It's all a bit strange. And it's all just they're the main characters. The footballers, the players should be the main characters, not these administrators. 30 years ago, no one knew who any of these people were.
That's true. That's true. I think it's a strange situation. Max, you're in a situation as well where you're in the country reporting on the tournament, and you probably have to be slightly aware of what you're saying so you don't get deported.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's at the door of this cinema room yet, but I suppose it's a really interesting point, actually, that you make, Charlie, is thinking about, what you say on social media before you come in or what you say when you're here. But I think you do have a responsibility. And I mean, it would be surprising, I guess, that there are a lot, Adam Crafton's writing stuff in The Athletic. He's based in New York. I suppose you think it's unlikely, but maybe, Joey, do you think if you keep talking about this?
Deported,
I mean, yes, really, try and get deported.
Listenership would shoot up.
Try and get deported.
Look, I've got 2 young kids. Being away for 2 weeks, I do miss them, but I wouldn't mind 2 weeks and then deported, I'd say. But it is interesting, Joey, the point that Charlie makes is because there will be people here thinking, well, I just don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if journalists got in trouble, and most likely not from countries like the UK, from these smaller countries in the African Muslim world that probably have a bit less of a megaphone. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all.
All right. Well, I'll keep broadcasting here until
so your door gets kicked in behind you while you're on air.
Exactly.
I reckon your wife might try and get you deported. Have you seen what Max has been saying? He should come home.
Should be ringing the ICE agent.
Sleep last night. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for coming on, pal. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Joey D'Urso there, author and journalist. I should find his book and say, go and buy his book. His book is brilliant, by the way. But forget, I'll find the title. It's about football shirts, and I'll tell you all about it after 2. We need a caller for the for the wheel of football.
Oh yes.
03717 223344. If you'd like to take on Ben, the West Brom fan, and look, it's very hard.
You need to know 5 footballers.
He's a brilliant player, Ben, the West Brom fan, but he can be toppled. If you know of 5 footballers, you don't have to know them, just know 5 footballers. That's all you need to qualify. 03717 223344. This text says, left wing gibberish as usual, Trump's fault.
Okay.
03717 223344. 1 caller for the wheel of football. We'll play that next.
Perez is a big-time operator. He was one of the intellectual capital behind the ideals for the European Super League, primarily because he probably wants to put his steel in parts of the Middle East and take opportunities as a result of that. But he's a big hitter, and he knows the influence and power that being in the position that he has, and he wields it with a great deal of authority. And I wouldn't wager against Mourinho being successful again, because I think this is another lease of life for Mourinho. He loves to prove people wrong. He won't escape him, because he's not an obtuse man, that the direction of travel for his career was sort of flatlining and declining. So here he comes again. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mourinho does something that people would be surprised that he does, which is come back and win something with Madrid.
They are a massive player when we're talking about the domino effects of the transfer market, aren't they, within the summer? And obviously him coming in, saying that he's going to spend £150 million on a particular player, whoever that may be. There's loads of rumours flying around. Michael Olise's name's been thrown in there. That then will trigger whoever gains that £150 million to go and spend it elsewhere, and that might affect the whole landscape within Europe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, let's be honest. The predominant spenders are the Premier League clubs. The scale that we spend dwarfs. I mean, Madrid and Barcelona in recent times have managed to regalvanise themselves. They've sold off their broadcasting rights to be able to recalibrate themselves economically. But Madrid haven't got enormous amount of money. My understanding is they're going to have to sell to buy. So whatever way you look at this marketplace, whatever club you are, the market will be stimulated by business being done. So to suggest that Madrid, on a marketplace that does 2, 3, 4 billion in transfer sales across the European landscape, if we look at the Premier League last year, what did it do?
Afternoon, everyone. It is Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you until 4 on talkSPORT. Joey Durslow's book, by the way, it's really good. It's called More Than a Shirt, How Football Shirts Explain Global Politics, Money and Power. So go and buy it and read it. We will play the Wheel of Football in just a second. 03717223344 if you would like to take on the reigning champion and current world number one, Ben, the West Brom fan. Before that, let's get the sports headlines with Tom Clayton.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
Max, thank you. Good afternoon. Is Ben Stokes really about to retire as England cricket captain? Steve Harmison's not buying it.
As in the IPL, the white ball England cricket team, franchise cricket, to be the England captain, I'd be amazed if he gives it up.
The Double Ashes winners joined former captain Michael Vaughan in backing Ben Stokes to stay. Harmy says there's an ulterior motive at play.
Overreaction to what's been happening, because I think there's a lot of people want to have a go at this England cricket team because of what happened, their poor performance, their arrogance at times.
Meanwhile, Harry Brook, who many see as a potential Stokes successor, has moved above Joe Root in the ICC Test batting rankings. Now, are we leaving too much talent at home to carry an injured Bukayo Saka? Saka's not 100%, as revealed by Thomas Tuchel yesterday. talkSPORT's Gabby Agbonlahor's not happy that Saka's still part of the squad.
Look at the players we're leaving back at home. Foden, Bowen, Palmer. We've got too much talent on the wings to have a player who can't train every day, can't really get through 90 minutes.
England's final one against Costa Rica is live on talkSPORT tonight from 7. Kickoff is at 9. Elsewhere today, Marcus Rashford is set for an Old Trafford return this summer. Barcelona appear to be unwilling to pay the £26 million fee for his permanent signature after his loan. Meanwhile, Yves Bissouma is set to leave Tottenham, and Newcastle have confirmed their first signing of the summer. French goalkeeper Yoann Jaouen has joined from Reims. Get all the latest at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
The family of the man attacked in Belfast on Monday night say they're devastated, but the resulting unrest is not welcome. Meanwhile, police from across the UK are being sent to Northern Ireland following those violent protests. Sinead has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, where we've got a wider range of premium tyres than Britain has rainy days. Visit your local centre or book at quickfit.com today.
Blustery showers for many today, the north and east most at risk for thunder and hail. A few sunny spells coming later on.
welcome to the Wheel of Football, and here's your host, Max Rushden and Charlie Baker.
Hello
Welcome,
there.
Charlie. Remind the listeners how the Wheel of Football works. It is the quiz sweeping the nation and dividing the nation.
The Wheel of Football means that we have two contestants, and they both name 5 footballers, one by one.
Yeah.
After the name of each footballer, I go into the A4 pocket that I have here, Clay, and pull out a category.
Yeah.
So maybe they would say Trevor Benjamin. Okay, and someone else would say Cyril Regis. And then the category would be biggest tipper. We would discuss who is the biggest tipper between Cyril Regis or Trevor Benjamin. And then we would decide. Max would have the ombudsman. He would find ombudsperson maybe in 2026. Max, I don't know how it works. You know, come on, get with it. Yeah, if that's not too woke for you. And then we decide the winner, and it's best of 5.
Okay, let's play. Reigning champion Ben, the West Brom fan, is here. Hey Ben.
Hey Ben, how are you?
Good afternoon, gents. I'm very well, thank you. Yourselves?
Yeah, very good. You've been on a bad line today, not on quite a good line. Are you out of work today, Ben?
Oh no, sorry. No, it should be a good line. Should be solid.
It's a phone line. No, it's a solid phone line. I'm just saying it's not in. Are you normally on this phone line? Is that what it is, Ben? Or?
Yeah, I was last week. Yeah. You threw me by there, Charlie.
This is his lucky phone line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Ben. You know, you're world number 1 for a reason. Now it's a risky booking. Now you're taking on Patrick, the Villa fan. But now, Patrick, are you going to behave yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Now, we know, Patrick, that we're not allowed to... We know that it's not mentioning Page 3 girls from the 80s.
I think you've got the wrong Patrick, Charlie.
All right.
Gutter. You might not gutter, Charlie, again. Come on, you're better than that. You're better than
I'm better than that. Okay.
No, you're not.
That's true. I'm absolutely not Patrick.
Let's play. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's play. Okay, player 1. Ben, you are world number 1. You go first. Give us a footballer.
Oh, I'd love to go for the man who only needed a chance, Tony Yeboah.
Tony Yeboah, lovely shout.
Patrick, the Villa fan.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Clayton Blackmore.
Clayton
Blackmore. Okay, Tony Yeboah versus Clayton Blackmore. Here we go.
Good, here we go. And my hand is going in the pocket. One hand in my pocket. And the category is... most likely to pass the pickle jar that you can't open to. So you can't open the pickle jar and you'll pass and open that, please.
So you're basically going, I can't open this. Tony, could you open this? Or Clayton, can you open this? Okay.
I think there's only one. I think there's only one answer. But carry on.
It's 1-0 to Yeboah. We don't need this. Tony Yeboah's opening that pickle jar. It's 1-0 to Ben. God, he's good at this game. Patrick, give us a footballer.
Is that a game? Jeez, this is a new law.
Yeah, it's a tough game, isn't it?
Okay, I'll have Mark Rankin, Preston North End legend.
Oh, right, Mark Rankin.
Preston legend,
you have to look him
Mark
up.
Rankin. Okay, I might look him up while we play. Ben, the West Brom fan.
I'll keep it in the northwest. Georgie Kincladze.
Oh, lovely.
Georgie Kincladze versus Mark Rankin. Oh, yeah, I remember Mark Rankin.
Oh yeah, Mark
There we
Rankin.
go. Okay, 700 games.
The Crab.
The Crab.
Is he?
Okay, yeah.
Good.
238 games for Preston. God, he played for Doncaster for years, Wolves as well. Yeah,
Famously,
Roy
Roy Hodgson would never sign him. Famously. Right, here we go.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. Okay, what's the category?
The category is the worst dancer.
Worst dancer. Kincladze.
I'm feeling Kincladze's got moves, but I don't know. Tell me about Mark Rankin, Patrick.
Yeah.
Rankin is known as the Crab. Graced many a dance floor in Preston back in the early 90s, and he was just a fantastic dancer. Facts.
Facts. Okay,
I can't argue with that,
it was
really.
strong.
But
You
go
can't
on, Ben.
argue with that. It's one apiece. It's like those
one
twinkly
all.
toes.
It's one all.
Kincladze loses out to Mark Rankin, as he should. Okay then, Ben, one apiece. Here we go.
Let's play, if possible, Eagle Ostenstad.
Ostenstad, nice.
Egil Ostenstad. Okay, great idea. Okay. Patrick, the Villa fan?
Eric Jemba, so badly named him twice.
Very good.
Yeah, okay. Jemba versus Ostenstad.
It's nice.
Here we go. What's the
a nice matchup?
It's a nice game, isn't it? It's a lovely matchup, that.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup. This is a good one. Can play 4 songs on the guitar.
Can play 4 songs on the guitar. Okay, let's start with Egil Ostenstadt, Ben.
Well, Eagle, the orchestra Ostenstad, they used to call him. In fact, actually, a very, very talented museum. He actually used to play in a duet down on the south coast with a guy who I mentioned on one of the earlier episodes, Francis Benali. So they were renowned duet down on the south coast during the period in the 90s when he was
Waffle.
the Premier League.
Patrick's Ben's met his match. Ben, what a match.
Give us the Jemba Jemba guitar history, please.
Jemba Jemba. He was a bass player for a 1970s Nigerian band. Fantastic bass player. I've got all their albums. I can send them in to prove it if you want.
I don't think the timeline works. Because he'd have been about 6.
Start early there, Charlie.
I think Ben takes it. Ostenstad 2-1.
Ostenstad takes it. Okay, 2-1. It's a good game this though. Patrick, the Villa fan, need this for 2-2. Need this to stay in the game. Who are you giving us?
Patrick, the Villa fan. Thinking of a football.
Peter Beardsley. Okay, Ben, the West Brom fan.
Oh, we've come up against Peter before, haven't we? But I'm going to go against him with...
Here we go. What?
We'll go with Vinny Samways.
Vinny Samways versus Peter Beardsley. Okay.
Tell you.
Okay. Here we go.
What's he doing?
Beardsley. Oh no. Beardsley
Beardsley,
Vinny Samways. Angriest.
Angriest.
I don't choose the categories. They just come out.
Come on here.
Tricked.
Who's the angriest?
I'm the angriest. Coming up against him.
Okay, well, you need
guys.
I think it's Beardsley. Have you seen his face? Patrick
Is it
says.
2-2? Is that 2-2?
I think it's 2-2, yeah. I think
it's 2-2, okay.
Definitely. So this is for the win.
This is for the win, then.
Yeah.
It's been a great game.
Great game. For the last,
Ben, you're under pressure
the last
here.
Wednesday in a while, because it'll be...
Are you going to lose your title, or is Patrick going to go out, as we all expect him to? Let's see.
Actually, we need to ask, before we go, Ben, or Patrick, whoever wins, this is going to become a Saturday or a Sunday game during the World Cup, because Max won't be on a Wednesday. Are you available on a Saturday or a Sunday?
I'll make myself available for a game of this colour.
Yeah, good news.
I bet he will.
Give us a footballer, Ben. Come on.
Footballer's name, please, Ben.
Ooh, let's play John Jensen, please.
John Jensen.
Reese says Patrick sounds like Charlie on the birthday spread. John Jensen, then. Patrick, who are you going for the win?
Ronnie Johnson. Come on.
It's Jensen v. Johnson.
John Jensen.
Come on.
A Norwegian fight. This is good.
Where's silk pajamas? I think they both do. I think they both
Where's silk pajamas?
Where's silk pajamas?
Ronnie Johnson did when he played for Villa for a season. Absolutely brilliant player. Fantastic. Very underrated. Right, go on, Mr. Man. Here we go.
Or silk
You
pajamas.
can describe.
Wait, Ben?
Was he in silk pajamas?
Yeah, a man who played in midfield like Double J, John Jensen, does not sleep in silk pyjamas, especially when you've got to comfort yourself after such a poor goal-scoring record as he had.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a draw, Max.
Charlie?
I think it's a draw because it's both good answers, and it's 2.5 each. And I can only think it's too much fun not to have them both on a weekend. Next weekend on the game day warm-up.
Saturday then, a replay between Ben and Patrick. Lee says, after that quiz, I think Derek and Gould was right.
It's a great quiz.
Good stuff.
Great quiz.
Enjoy that. Well done to Patrick for keeping it together.
Very good.
For the first time ever while he was on air. So there, a replay on Saturday. It is Max and Charlie with you on the warm-up. Brought to you with Tool Station. Only got time for one stop. First stop, Tool Station. Dan Tiernan, comedian and Arsenal fan, will join us in just a second.
You know, like without Harry Kane, we are screwed.
He dropped quite deep again. I don't mind.
You know what's annoying me, right? And I've been seeing it on social media, right? People winding me up already, all right? If I hear England fans coming on here moaning about Harry Kane dropping deep, I swear I'm going to lose my head.
I totally agree.
I'm going to lose my head. The guy has scored 50 goals this season.
61.
He scored 61 goals.
In all competitions.
He scored 61 goals, right? And people are moaning about him dropping deep. When are people going to understand that is how Harry Kane plays?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, that is his game. He drops deep, he gets in pockets, he's hard to pick up, and then he'll find the box.
He starts the build-up.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, guys. I don't want to be hearing Harry Kane's dropping deep, Harry Kane's dropping deep. Like, we know now that is his game. Yeah. That is how he plays. He scored 60 goals.
As long as we fill the space that he drops out.
Well, that's why you have Rashford and that's why you have Saka.
That's what you need, runners from deep. You do.
I hear people say, Ivan Toney should start. We should start Ivan Toney because, you know, he stays up there. We need someone who's going to, you know, lead the line. Mate, drop me out. Drop me out. Like, it does my head in.
No, I'm totally in agreement with you, mate. That's what he does. That's his game. And under Tuchel at Bayern Munich, he played that way, and he's mastered his craft. Look, you obviously, when the ball is built up in the wider areas, you want Kane in the middle. Obviously in the high and wide.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he can do the most damage.
Well, he scored a great goal with the ball. He got his glancing header. He's just got magic in his body. He just knows where to score goals from anywhere.
He does.
It just winds me up. I don't want to hear it. If he's dropping deep. Yeah, he's hot. And he's probably gonna sit in that little number 10 role every now and then. Do you know what I mean? As long as you get bodies past him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Rashford and runners in beyond. Like, just let Harry Kane play his game, because without him, we're nothing. We're nothing. And it just winds me up. So,
okay, all right, you've had your rent.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Because this summer, you and a mate could be jetting off to watch England versus Panama in New Jersey live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with Adidas, including tickets, flights, accommodation and more.
Go to talksport.com/win to enter now, and you could be soaking up the incredible atmosphere at the FIFA World Cup 2026. For the chance to win every football fan's trip of a lifetime, enter now at talksport.com/win. Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
John at Deb's Ironing Shop in Wakefield says, Debs is looking at me and saying, what the hell are you laughing at? Brilliant game. Thank you so much.
Well, maybe they'd like to sponsor it. They do sponsor the birthday spread at Deb's Ironing Shop.
Do they?
So, yeah.
Oh, good. Why don't they sponsor time difference, or how tall are they? Outrageous. Anyway, the FIFA World Cup. Oh, okay. The World Cup begins tomorrow. We're sending you and a mate straight to New York to see England live with Adidas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. We're talking a trip to watch England face Panama, return flights, hotel, match tickets and spending money all taken care of. Plus, Adidas throwing in the official try-on match ball and a fresh pair of boots. Ready to get that winning feeling. Here's how to enter. Entries close Friday, 4 p.m. Charlie.
Yes, this Friday. For your chance to win, head to talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by 4 p.m. this Friday. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a TalkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Now, I've got some good news, Charlie. We are live on the big screen at the Redwood pub in London Bridge. But we're on mute. So my friend Tom, who I used to play football with, Tom Massey, good centre-back.
Okay.
He sat down for an afternoon pint and he said, I'd been enjoying a lunchtime pint until a moment ago. My enormous face turned up on the big screen. So I said I'd give him a shout-out.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a shout-out now, but he can't hear because Blondie, they're playing Blondie. Tom Massey.
Tom. Hi, Tom Massey. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, but he can't hear you either because we're on mute. We're on the big screen.
Hi, Tom Massey.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hi, Tom Massey.
Flash up Charlie's face then on the YouTube.
Put my screen
on.
YouTube.
Cut to Charlie. Cut Charlie.
They don't care. They don't care about me.
They do care.
They don't care.
Are they listening?
They can't.
There he is. There he is.
Tom Massey can't see that.
Can't see
what a waste of time. Talk about sport, for God's sake.
Hey, let's talk about beer, shall we?
Yes.
You like beer. I like beer.
Oh, we all like
Gus
beer.
Hully likes beer. He's a football fan and a beer connoisseur. And he has either just begun or about to begin the World Cup of Beers. All 48 countries involved. Hey, Gus.
Hi, Max. How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Big fan of any sort of World Cup, of biscuits, of tea bags, and of beer. It's a great idea. Have you done this before, Gus?
Yeah, so I've basically done it for the last 2 World Cups, for the last 3 Euros, Women World Cups, Women's Euros. Even did it for a couple of Eurovisions a couple of years ago. But done it a few times. So, not my first rodeo.
Do you change the beers every tournament at all, Gus, or do you stick with the country? Once a country's got its beer, is that? Because I noticed Portugal is Superboc. I think Sagres be disappointed to miss out.
Not to make the squad, not to get on the plane.
Well, I mean, I always try and get a new beer or something that I haven't tried before, but sometimes you're sort of limited in what you can get. So, I mean, there's not many options for Ivory Coast, so I'm going to have to get the bottle of Bock every time. But so I mean, with like England, with France, with Germany, there's so many options, so it's always good to just choose something new. But like you say, with Sagres and Superboc, I think in 2018 I chose Sagres, and I got a load of flack from every single Portuguese being just like, "Oh, you should have got Superboc." So ever since then, I've just got I've stuck with what I know on the Superboc.
Well, there is another one that is called Cristal, Cristal, which is the sort of the builder's choice. You know, they like that. So maybe next time round, give Cristal a chance.
Yeah. I think that
Charlie's
one comes
doing
in the
so
little
well,
250
Gus.
bottles, doesn't it?
Talking about
Charlie's doing
beer.
so well that his builders are drinking Crystal, champagne, just they're out of beer bottles, aren't they? I mean, look, like the Sagres Superboc, that is, that's like Lampard Gerrard, right? Can you put them both? It's good to see Kronenberg there. I mean, that's a great shout for France, isn't it? Kronenberg, they've got to be a hot favourite, haven't they?
Well, I mean, all the French people are pretty unhappy that I've chosen not a quality beer in their opinion. But I couldn't get a 1664 because that's all brewed in the UK. But I would have loved to have got one from France. But in terms of the tournament, France should be hot favourite to win that, I reckon.
Belgian beer is always, I mean, it's
always 19%.
It's delicious, but it is 19%, and if you have 2, your day is over.
Yeah, so I think it's probably a good thing that I've only got one of them. I don't need more than one.
You can forget the golden generation of Belgian beer that nearly did stuff. Should have done stuff, but they never quite made it, did they?
So how does the competition work? It's the public vote, Gus. You do this all on social media. Is that how it goes, or do you just drink them and decide?
No. So I basically drink it as soon as each country gets eliminated. So I think probably the first country I'll drink will be the team from Group A. So probably like South Africa or Czechia or something like that. But so as soon as each team gets knocked out, that's when I can crack it open and scull it.
Oh yeah, the Castle. Okay. I mean, the Castle Lager. They love that in South Africa. It's huge, isn't it? All the sponsor the cricket team. I used to live with 2 South Africans, and they'd all forever be on the Castle.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I mean, so I've already had one of the guys from Castle be just like, "Oh, thanks for choosing that. We'll send you some gear as a sort of
some gear
as a nice little treat."
So I'm interested. So you down? So do you down the beer, or you can just drink it at your own pace? And then who's deciding? Do you just go along with what happens? So the winner of the World Cup is the best beer. Is that how it works? Is there a competitive element?
Oh, no. Yeah, there's not a competitive element. It's just a case of getting the beer to sort of like celebrate everybody getting to the World Cup and then drinking the beer as a toast to their participation in all of it, really. I don't really want to drink all of it at the same time because I think there's like a 660ml from Ghana, which is way too much to drink in one sitting.
The club, the Ghana club.
Exactly, that's the one. That's the one. Picked that up from a restaurant down in South London, actually.
Oh, great. God, did it take you a long time to So it's quite hard, I imagine, to source an Iranian or an Iraqi beer, isn't it?
It can be, yeah. I mean, because for all the Middle Eastern countries, they're all sort of like non-alcoholic beers because they obviously don't do alcohol over there.
Sure.
But for Iran, there's a massive Iranian community up in Finchley, in North London, so it's quite easy to just nip over there, pick up a bottle, and then just go home.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
that's
good
great.
Indeed, yeah.
Oh, who have you gone for with Scotland? What? Because that's a tricky choice.
Tennant, surely.
Wow, I think I've annoyed quite a few Scots here because I've gone for something crafty. I've gone for a Vault City Sour by Vault City. Iron Brew Sour by Vault City instead of a can of Tennant's, which is what every Scottish person is having a go at me for.
Yeah, it needs to be. I think it should. I'm not saying you've got this wrong at all, Gus. But surely it needs to represent the country, doesn't it? And I think Tennant's represents Scotland as well as anything. Very good. I like the sound of the Iraq malt 0% pineapple. That malted pineapple.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've had a few non-alcoholic malt beverages in my time, and pineapple normally comes out quite nicely. So I think for Qatar, I've got a pineapple one as well, and for Iraq. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be nice with, well, when they get knocked out. But yeah,
exactly. If they might win it.
Oh well,
Never
thanks
know,
for coming on, Gus. What's the England beer again? Sorry, what are we having?
It's by a small craft brewery over in Walthamstow called Signature Brew. They're sort of like music themed, and this is an IPA called Roadie.
Okay.
Right. Got it. God, and are people up in arms about that? I mean, mostly it's just people are angry with whatever beer you've chosen.
Yeah, pretty much. You can't really please everybody, but there's been some nice comments being just like, yes, you've chosen this correct beer, or so on and so on. But yeah, it's all just a bit of a laugh, really, isn't it?
Good. Well,
yeah. Oh well. Well, thank you, Gus. Thanks for telling us a little about it, and good luck with drinking these beers as teams get knocked out.
Wicked. Honestly, thanks a lot for having me on, guys.
Oh, you're really welcome.
No, pleasure. Gus Harley there, football fan and beer connoisseur. The Pilsen of Paraguay. I want there to be a competition. I mean, we were telling Gus what we want it to be.
Yeah, I felt like there needed to be. I
want it to be a vote, or you get two people to blind taste test them and say which one they prefer out of that. We'll workshop it with him.
Sure.
And then, or you just get them all to the final, and then you just have to see them. I'm not going to encourage
you have to drink 6 cans of one in the first half, 6 cans of the other in the second half.
Oh, right. And see when you feel better.
And see what happens.
And just a glass of water at half time. Now, we have some exciting news to share with you. The World Cup kicking off tomorrow. talkSPORT and Meantime have teamed up to create a lager. Who from the talkSPORT office was sent to do this? I mean, this is... anyway, it's called So Good Lager.
Is that from Sweet Caroline? So good. So good. There we are.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it'll be poured from all... I'll have a pint of talkSPORT, please. Pint of talkSPORT, please.
Pint of the old talkSPORT.
Yeah, poured from all O'Neill's pubs. Are our faces on the?
I don't think it's our faces.
I mean, my face is never on a press release. It's not even on a photo outside the office. It's not going to be on the top of this, is it? They're
Imagine
embarrassed.
If you were the
They're
main
ashamed
one.
of me.
Imagine if they built this around you and your lifestyle.
It'll be in all O'Neill's pubs and some of the best sports pubs across the UK. You can find your nearest pub if you're desperate for a pint of talkSPORT by visiting talksport.com/so-good. It's 18 plus. Please drink responsibly, of course. But yeah, if you're having a pint of talkSPORT, it's quite a good name for a beer, isn't it? I'll have a pint of talkSPORT, please. Pint of talkSPORT. Half a talkSPORT. That's me. I'm just having a half. Half a talkSPORT, please. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4 this afternoon. Dan Tiernan, comedian, just had a brilliant run in Melbourne, is about to do Edinburgh. His new tour show is called Courts and All. Oh, good. Are we going to do 15 minutes on crystals? Right, I'm all in for this. Dan joins us next.
You just mentioned a couple of players there. Is Jude Bellingham one of your clutch players?
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course he is. I mean, Morgan Rogers is a good player, but Jude Bellingham is a world-class player. And despite the fact that maybe Jude's going through a phase in his career where people are not taking to him, and maybe there's some issues about some of his disposition, I hear certain things in Madrid from relatively reliable sources that there's no relationship between Bellingham and Mbappe. The two egos can't be in the same room. And that's maybe why Mourinho's been brought back in to try and get some order in place. But let's be under no illusion. Jude Bellingham is a game changer and a winner and a world-class footballer. And if after 75 minutes you change him for Morgan Rogers, ooh, what a hardship that is. But Jude Bellingham, by any measurement, any rational measurements, should be in the starting lineup because he is a world-class footballer. And and we've got probably 3 or 4 of them in the team, and he's one of them.
You've said that Tuchel's been brought in to win.
Yeah.
What happens if he doesn't? What's the attitude towards him if he doesn't?
Conte loses. And that's not me giving him a get-out-of-jail card. I just gave you an example. If you were to play the French in the final of the World Cup, some hypothetical scenario, and we to play a game where we're bold and we play on the front foot and we're not waiting for the opposition to do something to us, we're at the opposition, taking advantage and opportunities, and we go to a penalty shootout because both teams have played a wonderful game and drawn 2-0 and we lose because someone misses a penalty. What do? Say to Thomas Tuchel, you failed. I know in the binary world that I would have it sometimes. You either win or you lose. Everyone can come second. It's not difficult. Just turn up. But there is a way that England... I'm looking at this tournament going, for once, beat someone that we, on paper, can't or wouldn't be expected to. And then we'll build from that.
Thomas Tuchel has revealed Bukayo Saka is not fully fit as he's struggling with an Achilles problem. And Gabby Agbonlahor reckons the German should make a last-minute squad change.
Got the players we're leaving back at home, Foden, Bowen, Palmer. We've got too much talent on the wings to have a player who can't train every day, can't really get through 90 minutes.
But England coach at Euro 2024, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, would keep Saka in the squad.
He always turns up in big matches. He takes responsibility. He has got the experience now. He's a penalty taker.
Elsewhere, Man United have confirmed Casemiro, Jadon Sancho and Tyrell Malacia have all left the club. Meanwhile, we understand Barca will not pay the £26 million required to sign Marcus Rashford. That clause expires on Monday. Now, how's Pep Guardiola enjoying his first break in 14 years?
He sounds 5 years younger already. He's got his suntan back, so he's living the dream. He was at a big festival in Barcelona over the weekend. He's trying to get me to come play it next year.
Oasis legend Noel Gallagher there. And Harry Brook has overtaken Joe Root at the top of the ICC Test batting rankings. But will Brook captain England at the Oval next week? We're told Ben Stokes could retire following that post-curfew altercation in a nightclub.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. You are very welcome. And as is Dan Tiernan, comedian.
Dan's here.
Who joins us in the studio. Hey, Dan.
Hello, Dan. Hello, Max. Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
I've already said hello to Charlie. There's no faking it
No,
here.
that's fair. Yeah, I'm in a cinema room in Los Angeles, Dan, which makes it sound quite glamorous, but there's no aircon, and I'm starting to really sweat. So by 4, it could be absolutely dripping. But that's probably not. It's not your problem, Dan.
And no one feels sorry for you. Now we've introduced you as an Arsenal fan, Dan, which you actually just live near the Emirates. It's not.
Yeah. My Max said he's an Arsenal fan. The thing is I grew up a big City fan as a kid, and now I just don't really follow football at all. But then it is in you, because as soon as you said Arsenal fan, this fire inside me,
fury.
I nearly smashed the studio up.
Yeah,
I don't know how
did.
your colleague read the news when I was like seething.
I had to stand in front of Sinead Garvin.
Yeah. If you listen back to the news, you can just hear me going, Arsenal. Arsenal.
I am sorry. So what happened? Because it's interesting, it's quite interesting, when you're on talkSPORT and you expect everybody just lives and breathes football every minute. What happened that sort of sent you away from football, or did it just drift away from you?
Nah, I don't think it really drifted. So I went. I got a season ticket like when we were really bad. My dad got me one.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like Alano kind of days, and then then Mancini came in and we started getting good. And then when we won the Prem for the first time, I was behind the goal, and it was like, still to this day, one of the maddest experiences of my life.
Yeah.
And then I think a couple seasons later, we won the league, and it was just like, who cares?
Who cares?
I peaked, basically.
Yeah,
I think I completed football.
You've done it.
I think I was never too interested in the technicality of the game. It was more like just the mad rush of it, and I felt like I was chasing the dragon. I'd had the dragon. I wasn't going to get the dragon back.
That'd be quite, I think you are allowed to leave. You are allowed to leave football if you want to.
I've retired.
You're not forced to do
but
it.
then, like I say, then City are on. I don't know if I can name 5 players, and I'm still like in the pub going like City. So it's in you,
That's like me, and I'm on talkSPORT. So, Dan, you've got a new show coming up, Quartz and All.
Quartz and All,
Edinburgh Festival bound.
Edinburgh Festival, full run, 10:25, Monkey Barrel 1.
10:25 at night.
At night, crucially.
Make that.
they would not let
You
me
want
have the
kids
morning
turning
slot.
up.
Yeah.
10:25 a.m. is better. I mean, that's like you can get on with your day afterwards.
I honestly think there must be some kind of like local law that I wouldn't be allowed to perform in the morning. I don't know if you're familiar with my act, but already I'm shouting a bit, and this is me very much toned down. I think like 10:25 in the evening, people can just about get ready for my sort of level of energy and stuff, but in the morning I think you'd be sending pensioners into psychosis. That's the other thing. You gotta, my act just does not work for old people and not even like I'm picky about them. It's just, it's not safe for them. Very physical. That like as soon as you get good reviews in Edinburgh, then all the old people, the anoraks, start coming in. And the problem is old people get to the venue early, so therefore they sit at the front. And like I was in a small room my debut year, and I genuinely fell on an 80-year-old woman, and I said to my agent, we've got to do something about the anoraks at the front. It's not safe for them,
Sometimes the anoraks will turn up and you'll be doing your best show, and you're thinking this is going really well, but there'll be a whole group not laughing. And then you'll find out they're like Spanish students or something like that, so they've just not understood a word you've said, have they?
Or sometimes you'll find they can speak the language perfectly, but they just really don't like what you do.
That's happened a lot.
And it's just that the Mail gave you 5 stars, which you are like happy about at first, and then you see a sea of the most miserable people in the world. They've stayed up as well. They're like, the Mail, always trust the Mail. I'm going to go and watch this. And then they're like, oh my God, what is this? This isn't even comedy. They're not even like, this is bad. They're like, what is this man doing? This is really bad.
You are funny, Dan. You're really, really
It says, Dan,
nice.
it says you are going to be armed with an amethyst, a bucket full of sage, and a rose quartz the size of your impossibly large head.
It's so funny because you have to write this copy ages ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember that. That's pretty good. Well done.
It is.
So yeah, I got into healing crystals last July.
Okay.
I just bought one and I just like them. I think like a lot of
You're still alive.
Yeah, here we are.
So look, it's worked.
My black tourmaline is protecting me. Exactly. Yeah, well, I got my phone nicked, and then I went into a crystal shop because I was bored. I didn't have a phone. I was just wandering around, and she was like, you look like you need protection. And I was like, oh my God, these things are real. How did she know that? And the great thing about this black tourmaline I bought is even if the healing powers of it don't work, it's a massive sharp rock, so you could just dish someone's head in it.
Nice, that's good. That's good.
I think like a lot of football fans though will like. Everyone has superstitions. I bet a lot of football fans and players have a certain shirt or certain socks that they wear, and it's basically just my version of that. So now, because I've got the crystals, I don't need to worry about saluting magpies, or I can walk on 3 grids. I've just got the crystal.
Yeah, that's how they get you. That's how you get you, though, isn't it? A big crystal. Yeah, so that's how they get you. Like, you need this. If you don't have this, you're going to have lots.
That's
of
the problem. That's why I have to not go into crystal shops, because as soon as I think I'll need this golden healer. Like, if not, I'm like, if I don't get it, I will get leukemia. Like, I have to buy it. You know, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But my mate Luke, he runs a Sunday League football team, and called Limehouse Tigres. He's going to be buzzing. I got a shout out in there.
Yeah, he's got that in there.
He sat at work like, come on.
We were talking about them on the show before this one, actually.
Yeah, where they qualified the World Cup. Yeah. I mean, Scotland have got in. Scotland are in. Surely Limehouse Tigres.
Don't say that. You're about to do the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, there's no Scottish people there, Charlie. What are you? Who are you kidding? But he was looking through. He had a big game. I was going semi-final, Dickie Davies Cup. If they won, they'd have played in Leighton Orient Stadium. Massive for the club.
Yeah, that's big.
He's looking through my crystals. He goes, I like this one. Pulls it out. I said, that's great. It helps with confidence, with success. What's it called? It's a tiger's eye. Limehouse Tigres, their kit's tigers.
Yeah.
It's like just a sign that this stuff's real.
Not a real tiger's eye.
No, it wasn't. He's like, I like this one. It's just like a mangled tiger's eye. No.
They're hard to get, aren't they? They are hard to get. You know all those tigers walking around with eye patches? That's why.
Exactly, because Sunday League football teams are mining their eyes. Yeah, there's wars over
Exactly. It's a problem we need to expose.
So
what happened? Did they win?
No, they got battered 6-2. But the universe is just putting
the snake oil in.
Yeah, he should have put it in his sock, man. Honestly, put it in your sock.
What does the sage do? What does that do?
The sage, in theory, it cleanses it. So you got to cleanse your crystals in one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
There's a whole, mate, it's a whole thing. No one agrees. Every witch disagrees in every shop. You kind of just want an answer.
Yeah.
They all just say you do what the heart feels. So I like to really what I do in an ideal world, if I've got the time, is I get in a cold shower with the crystal on the day of a full moon, and then I can't believe I'm saying this stuff on live radio. I have moments with it. You know what it's like when you write a show, you get locked in on it, and then you start speaking about it, you're like, I've gone mad.
So
what am I saying?
It's a full moon. Full moon. And which crystal?
Ideally, all of them. If I got
all of the
time.
crystals.
Yeah.
How many have you got?
I've got about 35 now, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
What, do you give them in a special bag? Are they allowed to touch? Is it like beans on a full English?
Yeah. There's certain ones I'm like, I cannot have my rose quartz near my green malachite. No. Certain ones you're like, it's called gridding. You put them together to share their powers.
But look, you're doing well.
Yeah,
you're having a successful career, so maybe it works, Dan.
I'll say this: no one has used crystals this much for an Edinburgh show. So if I don't win the main award, then they're not real. You know what I mean? We'll play this back.
So it's pressure on the crystals.
This is I have to win the main award. Yeah.
We can get money on you for it.
For the crystal community, 100%. Yeah.
Good luck. Shout out to them.
And hopefully Arsenal will never win a league again. That's the other thing. Because I genuinely think that's why Arsenal won the league, because I'm right near the Emirates and the crystals, I think.
Yeah, but you might have needed Arsenal to win the league so that you win the main award.
This is it.
You might have to have the yin and the yang.
This is all part of it. I didn't really mind. I was happy that Arsenal won the league until the parades and all of that started.
Yeah, that's near your house.
Lads, get some more chance.
Oh.
They got the one Tottenham, which I can't say on the radio. What do you think of Tottenham?
That one, yeah.
Over and over and over again. And then they panic and you can tell we've got nothing else.
Yeah.
And then they go, Red Army. Are you a Red Army? Because you appear to be drinking a buzzball. Do you know what I mean? They don't feel like an army to me.
Sure. They've got North London Forever as well, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
which
There's
is
that
quite a
one.
nice
There's that one. They got two chants and one sort of thing where they pretend they're an army. Whilst you're wearing Crocs, you're drinking a buzzball. You're not an army. Sorry. Come at me.
If you want to go and see Dan, Google Dan Tiernan, and you can go and watch his tour. You can go and watch him in Edinburgh.
Is it the
as
Monkey
well.
Barrel 10 to end with 5 every night?
The
Brilliant.
Monkey Barrel, and it sounds great. I really enjoyed that 10 minutes, Dan. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Good man. Dan Tiernan there, comedian and not Arsenal fan. Go and see him, please. We will talk to the head of sport at the Times in just a second.
Obviously, we've got you on to talk about France and the French squad. How confident is the country of going all the way? Because every single person I speak to, and I say, who's going to win it? Everyone I've spoken to says France first.
When you look at the squad, I think we can say we favourites to win the tournament. But I don't know. I've got to say I'm a bit worried because I've watched the last few games and we are conceding goals, and I don't know, Mbappe looks like he's not in his best shape yet. And, I think coming into the World Cup when you're heavy favourites is not easy. So, I don't know. I think we'll be up there, but there's other teams that can win it as well.
France have got an outstanding forward line, haven't they, Neil? I mean, look at Elise's form, Dembele, Mbappe, Barcola, Doué. But like you says, is it the defence? Maybe a full-back, left-back, right-back? Do you think that's where they might let themselves down?
I think that the defense is a bit of a problem right now. I've seen a stat yesterday watching the game. I think in the last, they've conceded a goal in the last 5 or 6 games, and that hadn't happened in years, I think. So, which for me is not a good sign before tournament. And also, like you said, we've got a lot of amazing forwards and strikers, but I think the downside of it is also, can they defend? Can they help the team when is going to be needed? And I think we've seen this season Mbappe is not...
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Hi, good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. I'm in LA at the moment, Charlie in London, and joining Charlie in the studio is the head of sport at the Times, James Restall. James, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Very good indeed. This is like West Side Story, to be honest, Max. Having you out there for the Guardian and the Times here now, it's just like, what's going to happen? Is it knives?
I was just going to keep it quiet. I was going to keep it quiet.
I know you're going to keep it
quiet.
Who's
your biggest competition,
I brought
James?
it up.
Yeah.
We're all friends. We're all friends.
We're all friends. It's quite interesting, though, like how newspapers have changed and like how much is now the app and what you're doing sort of interactively for the World Cup.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this is for us. This is the first genuinely digital World Cup because it's all happening through the night. You kind of you're worrying less about print deadlines because we're not going to be printing stories of matches that happen at 2:00 in the morning. So for us, it's about how do we tell the best stories to people waking up in the morning and
if anything, it might be even better for you because not everyone's going to stay up all night and watch it because they've got work the next day.
Yeah, exactly. We'll still be covering things on the app through the night for those brave, hardy souls who'll be staying up. But for the majority of people, they get they go to work in the morning and they look at their phones at 7 a.m. and
Although I've been getting up to watch the NBA finals. In the middle of the night, and I am good for nothing the next day.
Got any survival tips?
No, I'm absolutely awful at it. I'm in a terrible mood, considering giving up my whole career
awful at radio.
At all times.
But this is my first day on US time.
Oh, is it?
Which I'll be doing for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. How do you find it?
Well, I mean, it's great today.
You said
ask me tomorrow.
Said sidewalk yet? Said drugstore.
How stressed, James, as the head of sport? Like, it's one of those roles, right? The head of sport in a newspaper. People think, I bet everything is great about that. But is it quite stressful? You've got a lot of people to deal with. You've got a lot of stuff to work out. And there's a lot of people looking at you, going, you've got to get this right. The World Cup is on you now, James.
I was just saying beforehand, that this has probably consumed at least some part of my thinking for the past 2 years in terms of how the number of people we send out there, where we send to. In Qatar, you were able to cover every single game if you could, and you could get to every single game if you could. And we actually had one reporter who did 4 matches in a day because you could get very easily.
That's too many for
between
anyone.
Locations.
Who did that?
He's no longer a journalist anymore, so I think we might have.
Oh right, okay.
That's the end of that.
But no, no. This one is a completely different challenge. Multiple time zones, 3 different countries, and some matches that a lot of our readers might not even know are happening.
No.
So the challenge has been how do we prioritise the stories that we think our readers are going to enjoy.
48 teams,
104 games.
4 games, and you sort of go, some people will care about every single game, but I suppose you're not trying to cater for those on your app.
Well, the great thing about the app is for the first time we've got a full interactive fixtures, results, tables, live stats for every match, competition stats which will update throughout the tournament. We've got a brilliant fun predictor game you can play to try not to get England knocked out by Senegal in the last 32, as I keep finding. But we've also got a brilliant interactive team-by-team guide there. So kind of when people come onto the app at any point in the day during the tournament, they'll be up to date. They'll have all the stats, all the information they need, and then they can go and enjoy the great sports writing.
Being knocked out by Senegal does sound like that.
I'm a pessimist.
That could happen, with the heat. Senegal will be good in the heat.
There are lots of good teams in this World Cup, and we haven't talked a lot about, England and where they're going to get, and it's stressful thinking about it. But you never know. How we were talking to Joey D'Urso earlier, James, about the referee who wasn't allowed into the country, and I struggle with this, trying to get the balance right between being so excited about the football, loving the football, knowing certainly on talkSPORT that our listeners they want the football and they don't massively want a lot of this is a reason why you shouldn't love this type thing. How do you find doing the balance for the Times of that?
I think it's important that we tell all the stories properly and with the respect they deserve. And I think a lot of our readers will come to us for the politics as well as the football. But it is a real challenge, and it was really interesting yesterday listening to Thomas Tuchel in his press conference, actually saying when he was asked a question that veered towards the political, and he said, "There are enough distractions. I have enough distractions as it is just trying to win a football tournament, and so I only want to talk about the football. And that feels like a real departure, particularly from the way Gareth Southgate handled the job.
Yeah.
And I think Tuchel it felt like he was drawing a bit of a line in the sand at an early press conference to almost say, don't ask me about these things, I'm only going to talk about the football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is right or wrong, who knows? I mean, I really liked how Gareth Southgate was a bit of a states person and did those things well. But you can forgive football managers, international or club managers, because quite often they're the only people who are put up to talk, and they have to talk about all manner of things that they aren't really qualified to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, the onus falls then on us to tell those stories. Really, if the coaches don't want to talk about them.
I quite like the fact that he said, "This is who I am. This is my job. This is what I'm going to do. These are the players I'm going to pick. This is how I'm going to play. You've asked me to do the job. This is how I'm going to do it." Doesn't seem affected particularly by the press at all.
No, I think he's his own man. He's made some quite controversial calls during his short tenure as England manager, but he feels like a man who'll kind of live or die by his convictions.
Yeah. One thing I like on your app is the interactive TV guide, because who knows what channel anything's on in the middle of the night.
And you can listen to it all on talkSPORT.
Oh, well, that's what I will mainly be doing, one ear in while my wife sleeps.
Of course. It's nice to watch it in silence.
Yes.
With our, isn't it? That's perfect. You're right. But it is. I mean, it is hard to keep across it. And also, I'm in the States now. But obviously, when you are at home and you're trying to work out what time every game is, it is. You think for Scotland, like the first one's at 2 a.m. They're like, they've spent how many years trying to get there, and now it's 2 a.m. and that is a killer. That is a nightmare. Do you go to bed? You've got to go to bed first, right?
We had our World Cup preview magazine came out last week, and the guy who in my team who edits it watches a lot of American sport, and he put a section in there which was asked people who he knows who stay up and watch all the sport in America and the US, and did a survival guide in there, which was very, very good.
Mine is nap with the NBA finals. Mine is sort of nap through it, and then for the last quarter, be awake. Because
but that is basketball, right?
Nothing really happens till the last quarter, but they do seem
need
convinced.
The last 2 minutes.
They do seem to be trying to turn football into quarters during this World Cup.
Oh, it will be, and they're going to be little tactical team talks in their own right. Those little water breaks, aren't they?
We should just not cover it at all. Have you thought about that? About the Times not covering it at all. That'll be a real line in the sand.
I think that would be a really worrying direction of travel.
James is like, won't hire Charlie. That's it, won't hire.
It's just an idea. Just spitballing ideas.
No, it's a good idea. There's no such thing as a bad idea, and we try many of them on this show. Where do you have England finishing, James? What do you reckon?
I think that they should get to the semi-finals. I think that's where they should get to. The kind of inner pessimist in me is a little bit worried about an early exit. England haven't had an early exit for quite some time from a tournament. However, I look at the last Euros where England had a succession of Hail Mary moments to get them to the final while playing terribly. And I think anything is genuinely possible. And you might say I'm sitting on the fence. It's foolish to make predictions. I think heart says semi-finals, head says round of 32 against Senegal.
Wow. I don't mind it. I do mind it, but I can feel it.
I don't want that. Thanks for coming in. Good luck with the
tournament.
tournament.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
You.
James Restall there, head of sport at the Times. Times app, your ultimate companion for all the action at the 2026 World Cup. So download it. This is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Make the switch to Toolstation Trade Club and save 10% on all electrical and lighting when you buy cable and Flex's first stop. Toolstation. We'll do a 2-word phone in just a second. Before that, we'll go to the Scottish training camp. Shabana Hearn is there for us, and we'll chat to her in a second.
people in the pub aren't sitting around in the pubs talking about accessibility. We are. The media are. We're creating conversations to be able to confect outrage, to be able to create content. Most people accept it. They accept the reality of the circumstances that these premium games, these premium tournaments have a caveat, which means that ultimately they're beyond the reach of most people. That doesn't make it right. I'm not arguing for the right and wrong of it. I'm putting the pragmatic reality of it. I do not know, and at this moment in time, I'm not sure that we do know, the reason why this referee wasn't allowed in the country. If he didn't meet the visa requirements... He hasn't met
the vetting requirements, is what I'm told.
So that's not a mess. That's an issue from his side, and it's an issue from the people that represent him. As far as the Iranians are concerned, with due respect to whether you like it or you don't like it, the US is at war with Iran. It's hardly a surprise that you are not going to particularly want Iranian supporters coming into the country, despite the proclamation at the time, with the circumstances that Infantino was orchestrating and illustrating, that we want it to be the most inclusive World Cup you could possibly be, and it will be available to everybody. But there are exceptions. If you don't meet your visa requirements, and if you're at war with a country, those are possibly reasonable exceptions. You've now got a World Cup that's got 48 teams rather than 32. So already you're making it more accessible.
Yeah.
So there are lots of pros and cons. What we are doing is we're doing what media usually does, which is find a reason to find something other than the football to talk about. And I quite like that, because I don't want to spend my entire time talking about who plays left back for Costa Rica. But I get the parameters of every tournament comes up, whether it was Russia, whether it was South Africa, the stadiums weren't going to be built, whether it was Russia because of the nature of that country's environment and the way that they live, whether it was
Hi, good afternoon. Max and Charlie with you until 4 on H&J today. Shabana Hearn is in Charlotte for Scotland's Open training. We'll catch up with her in just a second. Two-word phone-in, which I'll tell you about just after the news and sport. We'll do some... we'll get Kieran Maguire on. Quite an interesting story coming out about Everton and PSR. And it could have big implications for a lot of other football clubs as well. But right now, just gone 3. Let's get the sport with Tom Clayton.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Max, thank you. Good afternoon. A double Ashes winner says Ben Stokes shouldn't face such scrutiny and punishment over a curfew misdemeanor.
He needs to be punished. We're talking about ending somebody's career. I'm sorry, that doesn't sit very well with me.
Steve Armisen there as we await news of what Stokes does next. If Stokes does walk away, Army reckons it'll almost be in keeping with Stokes' emotion around the game.
I think the obsession about being England captain, I think sometimes has gone a bit too far for him when it comes to the emotion he shows, the way he conducts himself sometimes in the media, the umbrage he takes to some of the criticism that he thinks that potentially has gone too far.
Meanwhile, Harry Brook, who many see as a potential Stokes successor, has moved above Joe Root in the ICC Test batting rankings. Now, it's our understanding Everton have lost a legal battle with Burnley over PSR breaches. We'll hear more about that story in the next hour. Elsewhere, what can we expect from England this evening when they take on Costa Rica? Mark Gahey says what happens in Orlando isn't that important.
The most important message is just to arrive at the right time, and that's on the 17th, that's against Croatia, so as long as the guys are ready for that game, that's the most important.
You can hear England's final warm-up against Costa Rica this evening live on talkSPORT. Elsewhere today, Marcus Rashford is set for an Old Trafford return this summer. Barcelona appear to be unwilling to pay the £26 million fee for a permanent signature after his loan. Meanwhile, Ibasuma is set to leave Tottenham, and Newcastle have confirmed their first signing of the summer. Goalkeeper Yuan Zhaoen has joined from Reims. It's all the latest at talkSPORT.com.
talkSPORT News.
We're just seeing some breaking news here, and that's that the ECB's confirmed that Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson will not be available for selection for the second test against New Zealand. We'll get more on that in the next hour or so. Confirmation there that Joe Root will lead the captain as the interim in an interim basis. More on that, as I say, in the next hour or so. In the news today, the family of a man stabbed in Belfast say they are completely devastated but do not support the violent protest that followed. Meanwhile, extra police from around the UK are being sent in after homes and cars were set on fire last night. Sinead has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Spring forwards with Bridgestone Taranza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Blustery showers for many today. The north and east most at risk for thunder and hail. A few sunny spells coming later. Just a reminder of that breaking news that Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson have been dropped for England's second test against New Zealand.
Yeah, afternoon. Max Ross and Charlie Baker with you till 4. I think that's interesting, Charlie. I don't know what you think. I mean, I don't know how long the suspension is. If it's just one game.
Do we know the full story? Is the full story out there, Max, of what's happened and it's definitely happened?
I haven't got it. Yeah, I've just heard what Tom's just said in the sports headlines, which is that they're not going to play in this next test match. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think you can, after what happened in the Ashes and what happened with the culture and what happened with people being out late, I don't think you can just say, "Oh, don't worry about it." Yeah. But I don't think Ben Stokes should. I don't want him to not be captain. I think he's a really good captain, and you know there are bigger crimes in the world. But I think some sanction had to be made. John Norman's going to join us in just a second to talk about that. Before that, we're going to go to Charlotte. Shabana Hearn is watching Scotland's open training session right now. She joins us. Hey, Shabana, you okay?
Good morning here from Charlotte, North Carolina, guys. Yep, it's just gone 10 o'clock in the morning and we're here at the Charlotte FC training base where, of course, the guys are situated where the open training will happen. They'll be coming out behind me in a couple of minutes' time, usually very, very prompt. We've got the kind of world's media just kind of gracing themselves at this side of the pitch, just waiting for the lads to come out, which should be in a couple of minutes' time. But I believe today it's a bit cooler. Sam and I arrived late on yesterday afternoon to the piddling rain in true Scottish fashion, but it's dry today. It's a little bit cooler, which will suit for conditions today for training.
Yeah, the vibes sounded good so far. I mean, obviously, every team's saying this, the camp's great. You sort of feel it's just, and I know you know this, Shaban, it's just so much on this first game, isn't it? It's so big, because if you win, and you know that Brazil and Morocco, one of those, if not both of those, would drop points, and then you're in such a brilliant position.
I know. I mean, it's likely, isn't it? And I'll keep my voice down here because we don't want to be overdoing it, you know, but it's so likely that we can get out of the group because we know that we can beat Haiti. So you don't want to get too excited, but at the same time I'm a bit like, come on then, let's go. And I feel myself getting all Scottish and, you know, aggressive with it and a bit overexcited. And then I'm a bit like, right, calm down, because it's not an easy group. I mean, Morocco are tough. Brazil obviously are Brazil. But when you look at Haiti, when you look at what Curaçao did to Haiti, when you look at what we did to Curaçao, our last two friendlies, it just felt like we had so much going forward. We're scoring goals, we're excited, we're playing with freedom, the handbrake's off ever so slightly. So, yeah, I mean, you can't help but get a little bit excited, eh?
Yeah, it could be a huge tournament for Lyndon Dykes, couldn't it, Shaban? I mean, we know John McGinn and McTominay, I think that the Scotland's form revolves around them, but if Lyndon Dykes can score one or two early on in the tournament, then he could be a Skilacci.
I mean, that's the thing. Whether Lyndon Dykes will start is another question altogether, Charlie, because what we've seen from the last two games, I mean, especially the last one against Bolivia, was that link-up from Che Adams and Lauren Shankland. And I think when we get a taste of that, when you can see what they can do, I mean, Shankland, hats off to the guy, man. He's been doing it all season, but now doing it in a Scotland shirt. And I know that, you know, when it comes to England, none of this stuff matters. You can't read into friendlies because they've got such a big squad. But from what you can see from our squad, the ones that are likely to start is that they're firing on all fronts. You know, they're banging in the goals. So I think that'll be the question. Is it going to be one up front, or are they going to play the two at the top, you know, with Shankland and Che Adams? I think it might be that, to be honest.
I just like him.
You just like
not going to start, is my guess.
I'll pass that on.
Shame, I just like him. I think he's got star quality.
I'll pass that on, Charlie. Lyndon,
have a good time, Shaban.
Whenever you're ready to come out, Charlie likes you.
Exactly. He doesn't care, Charlie, that the other strikers have both scored in the pre-match performance. He doesn't care. That's not important to him. Get Lyndon Dykes in.
You watch, he's going to score now.
Shaban. Yeah, good stuff. Shabana Hearn there
Bye, guys. I'll
in
report
Charlotte.
back from training. I'll let you know who's all in.
Yes, thank you, Val. Savannah, who is following Scotland and the Tartan Army, who will be out in force. Let's go to our cricket editor there, John Norman. Hey, John.
Hey guys, hope you're well.
Yeah, good. Thanks, John.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Obviously, at short notice. What did you make of that breaking news then that Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson dropped for the second test?
Well, no surprise that Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson have been dropped for the second test. There is some surprise, and I think it is the right decision. And I'm really glad that Joe Root has agreed to doing this. But the optics of having a man who, as white ball captain, was punched by a bouncer and fined 5 months ago whilst leading England, and who didn't get suspended for a international, replacing the Red Bull Test captain as captain of the Test side after he sits out seemingly a suspension, would have been quite poor for the ECB. So Joe Root to the rescue. Joe Root will captain the side. And this also says to me that Ben Stokes will be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is a good thing. Joe Root's just the only one who doesn't go to nightclubs. This is how they're just going, Joe, please. We know you understand nightclubs are not what everyone thinks they are. I mean, it's simultaneously really frustrating as a cricket fan, but also sort of borderline hilariously going, well, we can't have him as captain because he was punched by a bouncer last week. And this guy, do you know what I mean? It's a farce, really.
But it's all part of the same problem, isn't it? You know, and the way that the first incident was dealt with has had a knock-on effect to how this situation has had to be dealt with. And I would suggest that the last time it happened, it wasn't dealt with correctly. And that has caused a problem, a really big problem. I heard Harmy on earlier, and Harmy was very strong. He said, I would be amazed if Ben Stokes steps away from the captaincy. Ben Stokes lives for the captaincy. But there was a big problem here, because how in the space of 5 months could you go from a situation where the ECB essentially covered up? They covered up and they protected Harry Brook in Wellington. They knew what had happened and they didn't say anything. And then 5 months later, come down really hard on Ben Stokes. That doesn't look good, and it doesn't really feel fair. So for me, I think this is absolutely the right decision. Joe Root should be leading this side for this test and possibly the third. And then hopefully Ben Stokes comes back after serving whatever punishment, and this is the punishment, I guess, and he comes back and he holds his hands up and says, I got that one wrong, but that is not how I've led this team for the last 4 years, and I should be given the opportunity to right that wrong and to do that in the Ben Stokes way, and that's by, performing miracles on the field.
Is he the sort of person to ever put his hands up and say, actually, this keeps happening, so maybe some of the problem does lie with me? Is he that sort of person at all?
Very good question. There is a natural shelf life for England captains of about 4 years. There's a very good article written by Mike Atherton in the Times today, which is worth looking at. I just think this job chews you up. I think it asks so much of you that the person you are when you start as captain is not the person you are when you finish. And in the fullness of time, I imagine Ben Stokes will look back at his time as England captain, whenever that comes to an end, and he will be able to, with hindsight and time, be able to say, I got that wrong, and I got a lot right, but I did get some stuff wrong. So that's for him. I do wonder whether there is the strength of character in that dressing room to say no. We had Matt Pryor in the building yesterday. Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook, they're both sirs, aren't they? Had a very strong dressing room to rely on. Matt Pryor, Graham Swan, Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad, all these guys, they took it upon themselves to not only back up their skipper, but to almost create a culture that backed up the skipper when he wasn't around. Stokes hasn't got that. He had it when he started. Bairstow, Anderson, Broad, Root, of course. Root has been his absolute go-to man for 4 years. But now that Anderson and Broad and Bairstow have gone, when you're looking around that dressing room, who are the strong characters who are going to not only make sure that the work that Ben Stokes is asking of the team is carried out, but who are the guys that are going to turn around to Ben and say, No, you got that one wrong. Have another think. I'm not sure he's got that within the dressing room, and that makes it very, very difficult.
Cheers, John. Thanks for coming up, pal.
Cheers, guys.
John Norman there, our cricket editor. So, no, Ben Stokes or Gus Atkinson dropped for the second test against New Zealand. We don't know yet if they're dropped for the third test or not, but as he says, Joe Root coming in to captain the side for the second test.
Max, we've always had these sorts of players, haven't we, who are mercurial, incredible cricketers. I'm thinking Botham, I'm thinking Flintoff on a pedalo, and they seem to find themselves in these situations. I don't know if that's because they're reported on in these situations more, these types of players, or I don't know how it works. Or
I suppose what's interesting is that they are judged by people like us who can go and have a skinful tonight if we want to. I'm not going to, and I'm not going to go to a nightclub because I'm 47 and I don't want to, but I could. And so there is there is an awareness that you have to. John's made a good point about the captaincy, but the life of an elite sports person, and for so many of us, who weren't good enough to do it, we are envious and we dream of the riches and all the stuff and the glory and all the moments. But it's really hard, right? Yeah. It's really hard. The sacrifices are enormous. For those England players and those Scotland players at the World Cup squad or whatever, your 20s and whatever, you're a teenager when all the rest of us are just going and having fun, mucking about. And you have to absolutely... And that, I think, for some individuals is really hard, right? Yeah. To do all that, to work that hard. So I sort of qualify the judgment, but at the same time, it's like, guys, it's the first one after the Ashes. Whatever you do, if you're gonna just go around someone's house, just go around someone's house, just buy a really nice bottle of wine. Yeah. If you want, find someone loaded who's got someone rich, will have a room you can turn into a nightclub in your house. You don't need to don't put yourself in that situation. Yeah. So I think the decision is correct. I think there had to be some sanction. I really hope there is a way that he carries on, because he's a brilliant cricketer, and when he gets it right, he's a brilliant captain. We're all flawed, but
I'm pleased it's come off on the back of a win. Right, do you know what I mean? Rather than if you come back on the defeat, it would be.
But Rob Key and McCullum, who are not without blame for what has happened in the last few months, must have gone oh, you're not. You get that text going, you're not serious.
Yeah,
you're not serious. Anyway, Kieran Maguire will join us in just a second. We're going to talk about this case that Burnley's won its legal case against Everton over Everton's PSR breaches. So we'll talk about that and the implications as well for other clubs who have had PSR breaches in the past as well. Kieran Maguire knows all about it, and he'll explain it to us in a second.
We need leaders in this changing room, and at the back there you've got a bull sitting next to a panda in your changing room. You need a leader, someone who'll back up what you say. You need the Brazilian parrot at centre half with the bull. Now hear me out. He's a good talker. Now,
what do you need? Sorry, what'd you say?
The Brazilian parrot.
The Brazilian what?
Parrot. A parrot.
The what?
A parrot.
Can't hear. You can't. Well, turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. What'd you say?
The Brazilian parrot. Oh, I know what you're doing. Right, brilliant. Well done. Well done.
Come on, mate. That's the oldest trick.
Come on, Loza.
Come on, mate. Loz. The oldest trick in the book,
mate.
It's been a long day.
Come on, Lord.
It's the oldest one in the book.
Anyway, he's a good talker.
He's good what? I'm only messing with you, mate.
He's good in the dressing room. If you tell the lads they need to press, he'll go, lads, they need to press.
He does talk.
He's a bit repetitive, though. Does he come up with his own ideas? Like, you know?
Well, you know what? He's not akin to the dark arts either. You imagine trying to take a penalty and the opposition's got a parrot in your ear.
What's he saying?
You know,
What's he saying?
Who's a pretty boy then?
Who's a pretty boy then? The thing is, though, here's the problem, right? Half our team's got feathers.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's a good thing. If I lined up and I looked at half their team, I'm thinking, look.
Jeez, we got a ball and a white wolf, mate.
I know, but there's a lot of feathers in there. There's too many birds in there.
Imagine the opposition gets a corner and you can get your parrot. He can sit on the crossbar, can't he? And tell everyone what to do.
Sit on the shoulder.
It's
on the shoulder, mate. Parrot's on the shoulder a lot.
Mate, there's no way a parrot's lasting with a set piece comes in, mate.
Mate, parrot off the shoulder.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Yeah, afternoon, Max and Charlie with you until 4. Burnley's won its legal case against Everton over Everton's PSR breaches, and Everton are to pay Burnley nearly £40 million in damages and interest. Everton has said, we're surprised and angered by the decision of a Premier League Independent Disciplinary Commission to order a compensation payment to Burnley in relation to Everton's PSR breach in 2022. Everton has appealed the decision and is clear in its belief the ruling is fundamentally flawed in both law and fact. This is obviously too much for me and Charlie to understand. Kieran Maguire from the Priceless Football Podcast to the rescue. Hey, Kieran.
Hey, Kieran.
Hi, guys.
First of all, explain this case to us and what this means, and then we'll get on to the implications for other cases.
In season 21-22, Burnley finished 4 points below Everton and were relegated. A Premier League commission then investigated Everton for a PSR breach, and 2 years later, Everton were given a 4 points deduction. Burnley's argument is that if that deduction had been applied in season 21-22, they would not have been relegated because they would have finished above Everton on goal difference, and therefore they suffered a financial loss. I think Burnley are claiming that they lost around about £51-52 million. Looking at the settlement, I think the Commission have halved that to around about 25-26 million. And then there's interest, which has been accruing since 2022. So that's the verdict. Everton will be, understandably, I think, quite aggrieved because their argument, I suspect, will be that if we knew that we were in breach of PSR, we would have sold a player by the 30th of June 2022. That would have avoided the going over the limit and nothing else would have happened. And I think Everton's case, if you take a look at the original ruling, was that they were being penalised for an argument over accounting in terms of the way that the interest on the loan was being treated, and therefore they gained no sporting advantage. It looks as if the Commission hasn't agreed with that position.
Right. So because you'd think it's their responsibility, right? Everton's responsibility to know if they've broken PSR or not.
Well, Everton's argument at the time, if you go back to the original verdict, was that we borrowed money to fund the stadium rather than to fund the football team, and therefore we didn't gain anything on the pitch. And if we didn't gain anything on the pitch, why should we have a points deduction on the back of that? And I think they're still very aggrieved that whilst they initially were given a 10 points deduction, that was reduced to 4 on appeal. So I suspect what the Commission has done, it will have used some form of spreadsheet, some form of statistical analysis to work out the probability of things being different and Everton being relegated and Burnley not being relegated, and the financial benefits for Burnley as a consequence of that.
And what are the implications for, say, I saw you tweeting about it, for clubs who feel they were disadvantaged by Chelsea's breach of Premier League rules, and there are still 115 charges for Man City? Like, what's the implications of that?
Well, are we setting a precedent that if a club is in receipt of a points deduction now, and there could be an argument that points deduction should have been given in previous years, then should we have to go and revise the Premier League table retrospectively in terms of how the prize money is allocated, how Champions League prize money would be therefore available to a club that perhaps finished fourth, that might have otherwise finished fourth in the Premier League, and so on. We do have a sort of a bit of precedent of this, in the sense that if you recall the Carlos Tevez case, where West Ham ended up giving Sheffield United a sizable amount of compensation, well over £20 million, and that was about 2008, 2009. That's when 25 million pounds was worth a lot of money, and certainly significantly less than it is worth today. So on the back of that, and we've got settlements between Middlesbrough and Derby and Wycombe Wanderers and Derby, does it mean that breaches of PSR have consequences for sides who are otherwise relegated or didn't get into playoffs or similar?
Thank you, Kieran, for explaining it. I mean,
feels like a can
so
of
much
worms,
of
Kieran.
An enormous can of worms, yes. I think anybody who's listening to this who is of young age and is thinking of a career, sports law and sports finance is well worth considering.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Cheers, Kieran. Good man. Kieran Maguire there from the Price of Football podcast that he does with Kevin Day, which is a great listen. And look,
he's a professor of football finance, isn't he?
He is. And look, so much football, we all just want it to be dealt with on the pitch. But I mean, and you get frustrated with PSR. But if they're the rules and other teams aren't breaking it, and you actually think, well, if you do break it, and then we look at what happened to Southampton for a man standing by a tree, and what's a worse crime I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we will chat to Phil Kuchemilidis in just a second. Spanish football expert Marcus Rashford not staying at Barcelona. Obviously, the Real Madrid Florentino Perez story as well. We'll do that, and then we'll play our brand new game. We're piloting it to see if it's good enough for the weekend. What's all this weather we're having? Is that what it's called? What about all this weather?
What about all this weather we're having?
What about all this weather we're having? Okay,
time.
We'll play in a sec.
Realistically, what do you think England can achieve?
Well, I think England will do what they always do. They get to the quarterfinals and then they'll play somebody who's of an equal standing or just a bit better, and the whole world will cave in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think England will win. What I would hope, because I'm going to the final, I would hope that it's a Brazil-Argentina final.
Yeah.
So, but I think Portugal are the outside bet, and I don't think you can look past Spain and France, to be honest.
If it does go the way it should go, England would meet Brazil in the quarterfinals in Miami.
Really? Well, I mean, there's going to be... Brazil are going to be acclimatised to the weather, and England are not. But, England could do it. But, I mean, you have to say England have got to, 2 finals and 2... Is it 2 finals? Yeah, 2 finals. Yeah. Obviously not World Cup finals. And a World Cup semi-final. I mean, is that going to come round again? I mean, I like the manager, Tuchel. I think he's great, and...
Do you think he's made a mistake not taking Palmer?
No Foden. They didn't deserve to go. Come on, Phil has had 2 pretty bad seasons in a row. Yes. Phil needs to take the summer off. He's got a new start with Maresca, and maybe the pressure of Pep pushing him. He might release a valve on Phil. We don't know. But him and Cole, they've not had great seasons. Cole's been injured, so I think he got that right. But what's going to happen now is the Bellingham thing. You know, it's already started. If England draw against Croatia, which is probably the right result, right? Although Croatia are not great, but if he plays Bellingham.
Thomas Tuchel has revealed Bukayo Saka is not fully fit as he's struggling with an Achilles problem. And Gabby Agbonlahor reckons the German should make a last-minute squad change.
Look at the players we're leaving back at home, Foden, Bowen, Palmer. We've got too much talent on the wings to have a player who can't train every day, can't really get through 90 minutes.
The England coach at Euro 2024, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, would keep Saka in the squad.
He always turns up in big matches. He takes responsibility. He has got the experience now. He's a penalty taker.
Elsewhere, Man United have confirmed Casemiro, Jadon Sancho and Tyrell Malacia have all left the club. Meanwhile, we understand Barca will not pay the £26 million required to sign Marcus Rashford. That clause expires on Monday. Now, how's Pep Guardiola enjoying his first break in 14 years?
He sounds 5 years younger already. He's got his suntan back, so he's living the dream. He was at a big festival in Barcelona over the weekend. He's trying to get me to come play it next year.
Oasis legend Noel Gallagher there. And Harry Brook has overtaken Joe Root at the top of the ICC Test batting rankings. But will Brook captain England at the Oval next week? We're told Ben Stokes could retire following that post-curfew altercation in a nightclub.
Good afternoon, Max and Charlie with you until 4. We're just moments away from piloting our brand new quiz. What about all this weather we're having? Before that, let's talk to a Spanish football expert, Phil Kitchen-Melides. Hey, Phil.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Phil.
So what do you make of the Rashford news? I suppose with Anthony Gordon coming in, and it's interesting that they are competing for, a starting place, we think, on the left for England, that, Gordon comes in and Rashford doesn't stay.
I mean, as soon as they signed Anthony Gordon, I think Marcus Rashford probably knew that he wasn't going to be staying at Barcelona next season. If you look at his numbers, they've been really impressive this season. Marcus Rashford came in. This was supposed to kickstart his career a little bit. He got 14 goals and 14 assists, double figures for goals and assists in all competitions. He did well. He probably played more minutes than he expected to because there were injuries across the front line to the likes of Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. I think the feeling for Barcelona was that despite those decent numbers, he didn't actually contribute in the really big moments definitively enough for them to pay 30 million euros. Now, 30 million euros might not sound like a lot of money, but obviously Barcelona, it's sort of every penny counts when you're at Barcelona. So they're measuring their finances. They've splashed out on Anthony Gordon, and they've decided, thanks, Marcus, you were very useful, but probably not going to need you next season.
What's the reaction been to the Gordon signing?
To be honest, a bit of surprise because he's not that well known here. He's not like a Galactico signing that people were like, oh, wow, yes, we've got Anthony Gordon. We're like, oh, okay. Anthony, let me remind, okay, he scored 10 goals in the Champions League. All right, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be good. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money for a Spanish club to spend on any footballer now, particularly Barcelona, as we said. They're getting back to sort of being in relatively okay financial shape, but they're not quite there yet, and splashing 70 million is a lot for them. And also in a position where it didn't necessarily feel like they needed to strengthen. Like they need a centre forward, and Anthony Gordon's not going to play at centre forward. They've got Rafinha to play on left wing. So why are you spending 70 million on Anthony Gordon? Generally speaking, I mean, I think they're quite excited, but also a little bit of slight bewilderment. Like, who is this guy, and why have we spent so much money on him?
And where will Julian Alvarez be playing starting next season?
It's a very good question, Max. Well, it definitely won't be at Real Madrid. Obviously, they did this quite hilarious pantomime yesterday. Very briefly, let me just resume what happened. We had the Real Madrid presidential elections, and last week during the campaign, Florentino Perez promised on TV, next Tuesday, if I'm elected president, I will make a bid, a 150 million euro bid for a superstar Galactico player, which was a pretty good bit of marketing because everybody was talking, who is Florentino's mystery player? Is it Michael Olise? Is it Vitinha? And people were sort of guessing. Ended up it was Julian Alvarez. So they ring up Atletico Madrid and say, listen, we would like to make a 150 million euro bid for Julian Alvarez. Atletico Madrid say, no, go away. And Real Madrid say, absolutely fine, that's fine, great, thanks, bye. Because they had no intention of buying Julian Alvarez. And then seconds later, they put out a comunicado oficial, a statement on social media saying, oh, well, we've made this bid. Unfortunately, Atletico Madrid were very kind. They received it. They studied it. And then they said graciously, thanks, but no thanks. Atletico Madrid then replied pretty quickly going, we didn't graciously receive it. We didn't study it. We obviously weren't going to sell to you. And we don't want to be part of any of your strange political little goings on. So he was obviously never going to Real Madrid. It was all a bit of a pantomime. But also, this is particularly Machiavellian from Florentino Perez, because maybe by making this bid, he's actually raised the price for Julian Alvarez because Barcelona want him. They've already had a 100 million euro bid turned down. So if now they've turned down 150 million for him, they're going to go, Athletic can go to Barcelona and say, see, the price, you're going to have to raise it a lot more. So maybe Florentino is a genius and has ensured that Julian Alvarez isn't going to Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid have got to sell him to somebody else, maybe Arsenal.
Interesting. Good stuff, Phil. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, Phil.
Cheers, guys.
Someone's going to get a great player in Marcus Rashford. I think he's so good. And especially now he seems to be fit and back up for it again. For 26
You said Spurs, didn't you?
Well, I did say Spurs, but then he'd be great at Spurs, but I think he'd really fit at Arsenal as well. I think he might have Arsenal written all over him, Max.
Yeah. Well, they've got some good players down that side as well, don't they? I mean, Trossard had a great season, but I suppose Martinelli wasn't amazing. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, look, it's time for a brand new feature. It's the pilot, the first ever. Remember where you were when you first heard, what about all this weather we're having? Play the theme.
What about all this weather we're having?
It's not really about rain, is it?
It's not rain,
hot stuff might have worked. But anyway, here's your host. Love to Nigel Adley.
Love to Nigel.
Afternoon, guys. How are we doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Nigel.
This is what happens. You win How Tall Are They? You get the big gigs, Nigel.
What a week it's been. Open top bus tour on Sunday, civic reception, met the local mayor, and now I'm doing this. I mean, my life could not be any better.
Yeah. What's the name of the quiz? Do you know, Nigel?
It's called we're having a lot of weather, aren't we? Or how warm is it? Something like that.
Like it, yeah, good.
what about all this weather we're having? So should we explain it to you, Nigel?
Yeah, what about this? All playing for the
So
golden
it's
weather?
Charlie's idea. It's a good idea, this. So basically, it's 5 games. Nigel will give us the game, and we might hear a bit of commentary from the game.
Yeah.
And then we have to get the temperature in Celsius. Whoever's closest gets a point. If you're bang on, you get 3 points. It's all because the World Cup's hot and everyone keeps talking about it. So we're going to play a weather-based game. Let's play. What about all this weather we're having? Play the underneath music. Here we go. Nigel, off you go then.
And it's not time difference, to make it absolutely clear.
Absolutely
The
not.
first game
Of course.
is the 18th of December, 2022. I was very lucky to be there. The World Cup final, Argentina 3, France 3.
It's Gonzalo Montiel, went third in the quarter-final and scored. And if he can replicate that here, it is Argentina's night. The Roar will let you know if he scores. He's going to hit it right-footed. Argentina are the champions of the world!
Now, when you said 18th of December, I thought, oh, cold. And then it was, no, it's the World Cup.
Who's
Qatar.
first? Who's first, Nigel?
You're first because you're on the left of my screen.
Oh, that's nice.
Got it. Okay. So you're right. It's evening in Qatar, but it's hot.
Yeah.
Hot and muggy. It was when Argentina won the World Cup. Pitch side, 28 degrees.
I was thinking 28 degrees. I'm so gutted. So now I've got to go one way or the other. 29 degrees.
Went the wrong way. It was partly cloudy and 22 degrees Celsius.
Wow. Not hot at all.
1-0 to me. Okay, let's go
1-0
with
to
temperature
Max.
2, please, Nigel.
Match number 2, very, very famous day. The 13th of May, 2012, in the Premier League, Manchester City 3, Queen's Park Rangers 2.
Bolton haven't won their game. That means it's going to be okay for QPR. But here's Aguero inside the penalty area. Sergio Aguero! Wins the Barclays League for Manchester City!
And that's the most famous commentary of that moment. So that's good.
It is, yeah.
What was it? Last day of the season. It's normally, I can see sunshine, but England.
Manchester.
18 degrees.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but it was sunny. I'm going to go 19. Pitch side, 19.
It was a clear sunny day and it was 16 degrees.
Oh, yes, 1-1.
One apiece. Yes. Okay, third. I'm enjoying the game. Third temperature.
We're going back 40 years. The 22nd of June, 1986, the World Cup quarter-final. The opening game of the World Cup in the same stadium tomorrow. Argentina 2, England 1.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Valdano, out and Maradona gives Argentina the lead.
Mexico, yeah? It's in Mexico.
You have to say that's magnificent.
You have to say it's magnificent.
It's me, is it? It's me. Oh, it was hot there. It was hot. There was someone. We were talking to Peter Reid about the sweat there, weren't we? Oh,
altitude
Mexico,
as well.
86. It was altitude. Okay, so that's true. That make it a bit cooler. It was pitch side, 28 degrees.
I like that you say pitch side, Max.
Yeah, I know. That's my thing.
I think it's higher.
This is just a birthday spread, but with weather.
It's
says
not.
Ginger 73. How
No,
dare you?
How dare you say that?
It's time difference with weather, for goodness sake.
It's sort of guess the attendance with weather.
I'll tell you what
really,
it
but
is.
it's almost like they're all the same.
Shall I tell you what it is? It's
Yeah.
what about this weather we're having?
It's what about all this weather?
I'm going high. 31 degrees.
Well, according to our meteorological studies, it was sunny and 24 degrees.
Never!
Absolutely freezing,
Never.
Carl. Look at them. They were chilly. They're all in coats, long sleeve.
I'm a quiz
There we go.
master, not John Ketley. So
Okay, right.
we have
How many have
two.
we done? There's 2-1, okay?
2-1.
Let's rattle through these last two.
two
Good
more
on
to
enjoying the
come.
pilot.
4th of April 2024 in the Premier League, a real classic. Chelsea 4, Manchester United 3.
Corner's taken short. It's Cole Palmer! He's done it! A hat-trick! Chelsea win 4-3! This is absolutely unbelievable!
What was the date, please, Nigel?
4th of April 2024. Cole Palmer hat-trick, but was it cold?
Was it cold?
I don't know this one. Was it an
16
evening
degrees.
game? 17 degrees.
Pitch
Cool
side.
and damp, 10 degrees.
10 degrees. Oh, it's 2 all.
Freezing cold,
2
two
all.
apiece.
It's all on the
That's
last.
a modern day classic. Remember where you were. Okay, final temperature.
8th of July 2014, World Cup semi-final in Belo Horizonte. Germany 7, Brazil 1.
It's played inside the penalty area here. Oh! 7. That's the best of the lot. He just breaks for Schürrle, left-hand side of the penalty area. He chested it down and hit a left-footed volley in off the underside of the bar. Germany in 7th heaven. Brazil in footballing hell.
This text says it's just chicken racing with weather. Scott says typical lefty saying pitch side.
Yes.
Thank you. Adam says this feature is such a departure from your previous work,
is.
gents.
Belo Horizonte, 7-1.
This was a Winter World Cup as well.
Was it? Oh, it was
Well,
actually.
it's winter in South America.
Yeah,
That's true.
And it was evening. 12
Yeah,
degrees.
Belo Horizonte.
12 degrees.
13 degrees.
22 degrees.
Oh, he's had a stinker. Baker's had a stinker.
Hey, love to Nigel. Thanks,
Love
Nigel.
to Nigel. Thanks, Nigel.
Yes, guys. Enjoy the World
Okay,
Cup.
let us know. We'd like some feedback, please. Should we play that every Saturday and Sunday?
Weekday people are different.
Worries. Cheers, mate. See ya. Bye-bye.
No, thanks, Nigel. Cheers, mate.
No,
Thanks,
that's all
Nigel.
right.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel. Love to Nigel.
Imagine if he'd gone. Well, that was a pile of old. What a waste
Anyway.
of time.
We'd like your thoughts. Should we do that every Saturday and Sunday through the World Cup? Let us know. What about this weather we're having?
Weekday people are different to weekend people, but it's fine. Go
They're
get it.
just a bit more uptight, aren't they, at the
Yeah,
weekdays?
exactly.
Obviously, I'd be happy to broadcast the weekday people, 5 days a week if the situation was. Jim Proudfoot joins us. He's commentating on England-Costa Rica tonight.
Do you think FIFA could help the Iranian men's team a bit more than they've helped out like some of the delegates and the referees?
Well, it's remarkable to hear FIFA say that, given that in 2017, Gianni Infantino, during the first term of President Trump, after he imposed the seven-country travel ban, he said, and I quote, "Teams who qualify for a World Cup need to have access to the country. Otherwise, there is no World Cup. That's obvious." We're now in the process of defining the bid requirements in the world. There are many countries who have bans, travel bans, visa requirements, and so on and so forth. It's obvious when it comes to FIFA competitions, any team, including the supporters and officials of that team who qualify for a World Cup need to have access to the country, otherwise there is no World Cup. The requirements will be clear, and then each country can make up their decision whether they want to bid or not bid based on the requirements. Fast forward 8 years, and he said again, everyone will be welcoming Canada, Mexico, and the United States for the FIFA World Cup next year. There's a process to go through to get visas and so on. This process will be smooth. Well, that clearly is not true. None of that was true, and he was lying all along, because now we're in a situation where the United States, the UK, Iran, Sweden, any country decides their policy when it comes to immigration. That's true. However, every country does not have a legal, moral, or divine right to host a World Cup. That is a privilege. And in order to host and keep that privilege, you have to fill certain requirements. It's clear that the United States, from 2017 till today, even back then when it was during the bidding process, had no intention to maintain, to keep these requirements. So this is all on FIFA. They're the ones who've been turning a blind eye to all of this. And now, I'm sorry, but the buck stops.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Markham Walthamstow says, the temperature in my house has just dropped by 5 degrees. Awful nonsense. Love you, lads. I'll never forget this moment. Sat in Shepherd's Bush traffic outside the Popeyes, raining, listening to this rubbish. Love you both. If you're doing that every Saturday and Sunday, I'm switching to talkSPORT 2.
Right.
Shawnee, I'll gnaw off my own
Live
foot.
I go.
I'll gnaw my own foot off if you promise never to play that weather game again. Should you do that, Chris, on the weekend? In a word, no, says Neil. Nigel says that was brilliant. So mixed reaction, I think. Anyway, let's hear from Thomas Tuchel talking about Bukayo Saka's fitness ahead of the game with Croatia in a week's time.
We still have to take care a little bit about Bukayo, who had an injury in March camp and carried it through to, of course, into his club campaign, and was available and made himself available in the end of the season and did this brilliantly. But he was managed in between matches, and that continues a little bit at the very moment. So we're building him up and we're building him up. Noni is 100% available, Declan is 100% available, and Epps as well.
Let's talk to Jim Proudfoot, who'll be commentating on England, Costa Rica tonight. Hey, Jim, you okay?
Hello, Jim.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you, fellas. Nice to speak to you.
Yeah, so, I mean, that is, there are so many games this World Cup, if England go far, that managing Saka and, who was it on? Who was talking about how it's hard to, Adam Pardew was talking earlier about how it's hard to shake off that kind of injury, right? It is a worry because he's such a key player.
Well, it is a worry, and they're going to have to make a quick decision if they decide that he's not going to be in a position that he can really continue and be a full part of the squad. Now, listen, let me reiterate at this point in time, there is no hint that that is the case. Who can you bring in? You can bring in anybody that was on the long list of 55 players. So you could call up, say, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer. You cannot call up Rio Ngamoa. It's not a question that we can just look at Ngamoa's performance the other day and say, well, let's bring him in place of Bukayo Saka. I don't think it's quite as serious as that, and I do think that they'll be in a position that they think that they can manage Saka through this and cope with him as a player who isn't fully fit. Bearing in mind it's still a long tournament, and if England go deep into it, then they're still going to be playing in, more than a month's time. So my guess is that Saka will probably get 45 minutes today. They'll have a look at it. They'll see in this behind closed doors friendly against Miami tomorrow exactly what the situation is, and then they'll make a decision as to whether he's going to start against Croatia. But bearing in mind we are right on the eve of the tournament now. If there is a decision to be made that Bukayo can't play, they're going to have to make it really quickly.
Yeah. I think really important player hugely important player for Arsenal, but I think a very important player for England actually, Jim. I think when he plays, we look like a better team, and that's all you need.
Chaz, absolutely, definitely, and he is the first choice in that position. There's no doubt about that. Now there are other options, and we saw Ollie Watkins start out there the other day. They've got the possibility, of course, of Noni Madueke, who would be the straight sort of plug in and play swap on the right hand side. They could play Morgan Rogers out there as well. So it's
that's
not
how you get. I suppose that's how you get Bellingham and Rogers in the same team.
Oh, let's not get all the best players in.
I'm just saying that is how you do it. If Morgan Rogers can play there.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't a crisis by any stretch of the imagination. England will be a better team if Bukayo Saka is fit and able to play. There's no doubt about that. But it's a 26-man squad. It's not an 18-man squad where you would have a look at it and any potential injury problems when you've got, up to 8 games could be very problematic. it isn't. You can carry an injured player or two over the space of a month. If the worst comes to the worst, they won't want to do that, but it wouldn't be, in footballing terms, with a very small c, catastrophic.
Yeah, I think if he was injured, I would find Jared Bowen if he was on that long list. I mean, that is the like for like-ish replacement. What else are you expecting tonight, Jim?
Do you know what, Max? I really don't know, because there is this friendly against Miami tomorrow. If I was Thomas Tuchel, I would be probably keeping my cards close to my chest for this game today. I would be playing my first choice 11, the 11 that I think is going to start against Croatia in a week's time. I would be playing them tomorrow. So it's a question of how he wants to manage minutes. Everyone got 45 minutes the other day. I think it makes sense that we can expect that the Arsenal boys will get 45 minutes today, that Saka will get one half, Noni will get the other. Declan Rice might get an hour, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if they brought him off at half-time just to ease him in ahead of this game tomorrow. I don't know what conclusions we're going to be able to draw from the starting 11 today. I mean, nothing. There's no inside track or intel at the moment as to how strong or otherwise he's going to go. I think that England will win the game, whoever they put out. This is a Costa Rica team that have done well in World Cups in the recent past, but this is not a vintage Costa Rican side by any stretch of the imagination. They come into today's game on the back of 1 win in 11, didn't come close to qualifying, and there's hardly anybody in the squad who has featured in the last World Cup. So it's a clean sheet of paper as far as they're concerned. It should be relatively routine for England, but we need to see a little bit more intensity than we saw in that game against New Zealand at the weekend.
Maybe a hat-trick for Newton Abbott's finest, Ollie Watkins.
Well, a hat-trick for Newton Abbott's finest would be fantastic, and there was an element of pride, Chaz, as they put up the pictures on the big screen at the weekend. They even spelt some of the players' names right, but they did put in the hometown, and when it said number 19, Ollie Watkins, Torquay, it was just an element of pride from me, and I'm sure from you as well.
Of course.
How's the squad travelling together? Are you rooming with Adrian? Are you rooming with Stuart?
Are you mad? How well do you think that would go over 8 weeks if I was rooming with Adrian?
I'm rooming with Barry Glendenning for the whole tournament, so you know.
Actually, when you put it like that, it wouldn't have been too bad. No, it's all good. We're staying in a wonderful place at the moment in the suburb of Winter Park, just north of Orlando. So we're about 6 miles away from where the stadium is. I do expect maybe a little bit of inclement weather later, and you'll be aware of what happens in terms of lightning. If there is a lightning strike within 8 miles of the ground, it's a mandatory 30-minute pause. So the game today could be weather affected. We then fly on to Dallas tomorrow. Faye Carruthers, our England correspondent, goes up to Kansas with the England players being in camp up in Kansas up country. We're in Dallas tomorrow ahead of the big kickoff. But it's been fantastic. I mean, it's a wonderful place, Florida. Everyone has been so welcoming and hospitable. It's just been great.
Faye just clicks her red slippers together, and just there she is in Kansas. It's just how it works.
Cheers, Jim. We're not in Kansas anymore, and then but she is still in Kansas.
She is, yeah. Good stuff, Jim.
Thanks,
Have a good day, Jim. Jim Proudfoot there. Commentary, of course, England-Costa Rica tonight as we build up to England's certain march to glory in the World Cup, and that's it for us. Thanks, Charlie. I had a nice time.
Peter Tracy says that temperatures at the England-Argentina were 30 to 32 degrees. It was a disgrace. It was absolute. We can't get that right. What are we even doing on talkSPORT?
Rory Jennings, Darren Bent, next with Drive.
to talk to you about Harry Kane. Is he the best player in the world right now? Is he a serious Ballon d'Or contender?